Hi, I'm Gary.
And I'm Kate.
And we like to play and we like to play Fall Guys.
We also like to chat with We also like to chat with No! We also like to chat with cool and interesting people.
So we thought, why not do balls? So we thought, why not do both at the same time? No. This is Talk Guys. Ultimate chatting.
And we're back. Gary.
Oh.
Hello.
Kate.
How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you? Happy holidays. Merry Christmas.
Happy Your sweater looks very fetching.
As does yours. Look at us with our matching sweaters. We're coordinated.
Thank you, Mediatonic, for sending us these lovely Christmas gifts.
They're actually really nice sweaters. Like my kid keeps wanting to like touch the sleeve because they're so soft.
They're really, really nice. I got mine slightly oversized so I could be very cozy, comfy, but I'm wearing, like every Fall Guys stream I do, I'm wearing this.
I know. This one's already ready for the wash. I've been wearing it so often that it's like already needs to go through the wash.
Me too. It's been a while since we've done this.
It has, but I'm really glad we're doing this though, because we actually were planning to do this a little while ago, and then we decided to push it because we wanted to time it with the release of season 3, and now here we are, season 3. Times up perfectly for Christmas holiday special Talk Guys. I love it.
Absolutely, and we have two wonderful guests today, two level designers from Fall Guys. We've got Megan and JJ on the line. Now you can talk. There you are. Hello.
There they are.
Hello.
Hello. Is it senior level designers? Level designers? What's the official title here?
I'm the lead level designer, and
I'm just a lowly normal level designer.
And just for a bit of context, what levels from the previous seasons are you best known for, perhaps?
ooh.
I would say probably Slime Climb is my.
We have the creator of Slime Climb in the house.
Hey.
I have some harsh words for you later. We'll see.
And Megan, I've heard that you might be a Hexagon
Yeah,
creator.
that's probably my infamous level.
Those are two of my favorites. So you've done great work. I appreciate both of you
very
much.
notorious levels. very notorious indeed. This will be fun. This is actually the third time that we've had Fall Guys developers on the show. We've had Joe and Oliver and Anthony and Ben in previous shows. And Kate, these are always my favorite shows when we have the devs on, because we can really pick their brains about what went into making the game.
Absolutely. And this is a super great game. Both of us love it a lot, even though we swear at it constantly.
It's still my game of the year, Kate. There's a lot of great games out there this year, but this is still my personal favorite, I think, for this year.
I'm inclined to agree, for sure. You want to switch over and get gaming?
I'm ready to go. I got a squad. We got the squad here.
We do.
Should we introduce everyone's beans?
Yeah, let me just get my audio back up 1 second here. Alrighty, go for it.
Let's see here. So, Mad Yeeted Friend, I believe that's JJ. Is that correct?
Indeed. I'm going for a sort of pigeon superhero look.
Yeah. Okay. Avian superhero.
Yeah.
Meg, you're this very resplendent medieval horse, Wonky Smiling Ice Cream.
Newly
Very
hatched.
impressive. And Kate's rocking some kind of super exclusive costume that you can't get anywhere, because that's a very Kate thing to do. Have shit that no one else can get because she's so elite.
Yeah.
She's a member of the Fall Guys elite, the 1%.
It was a very kind gift from Oliver the other day. And I wear the Spaceman outfit all the time. That is my go-to skin. And so when Oliver gifted me this, I shed a tear. I was very, very excited.
Very nice of him. And I'm wearing a somewhat special costume, but I only really have it because I linked my Amazon account, which is a thing that anyone can do. But if you link your Amazon account, they will give you this free skin.
Yeah, I actually just did that last night.
Got to get them skins.
Gotta get them skins.
And I thought we'd kick off. We can do like the whole season, like the whole show later. But I thought maybe we'd start with like the playlist that is just the winter level, so we can dive right into the new stuff.
Sounds good to me.
Megan and JJ, are you ready to play?
Yeah, let's do it.
Absolutely.
All right, let's do it. Let's drop.
So how many wins do both of you have?
Oh, not many. Not many at all. I think maybe 5 crowns, to be honest, but I haven't played that much actually since launch.
Kind of been busy, you know, making the game.
Yeah.
But the thing is, yeah, we play a lot, but we play, you know, we play work in progress stuff, right, most of the time. So it's you know, when it's not counted, we're getting crowns all over the place. You know, we are absolutely smashing it. But when it comes down to it, yeah, I think I actually have less than you, Meg, which is really surprising to me. I don't know why, but
you really digs in early, aren't you?
I know. Well, I mean, well, we're gonna see. We're gonna see who's better between us, aren't we? I mean, that's all that's gonna happen.
We were talking about this before the show, this kind of erroneous assumption that just because you're a developer and you helped make the game, that it follows that you would also be good at it. But that's not always true, right? There are plenty of Mediatonic Fall Guys devs who suck, basically. They're not good at the game.
Yeah, and I think that is kind of part of the nature of the game, though, really, is that, like, you know, you want to be able to get a certain amount of, you know, you want to be able to improve to a point, but I think it should always be, you know, it should always be difficult to win. It should never really be that anybody can be that pro that they're winning every time. I mean, I don't know about Kate, because that kind of seems to be...
I mean, she wins a lot of the time.
No. Especially not with the new levels. Like this one, Tundra Run. And am I correct in saying that JJ, this was your...
Do we blame you?
This is not me.
Oh, sorry, it's the other one I was thinking of, the climbing one.
Yeah, Freezy Peak.
Freezy Peak.
Wow.
But let's talk about this one. So this is a new starting level. What was the thinking behind this one?
So, when we do the new seasons, we're going to try and put at least one gauntlet level in, which basically is the big race levels for 60 players. So, like Hit Parade and Dizzy Heights and stuff like that, they're gauntlets, or what we would consider gauntlets, and they basically are showcases for all of the new obstacles. So you can sort of see this one uses all of the new obstacles from
everything. Yeah,
it's a grab bag of all of the new stuff we put in there. So yeah, basically one of our designers grabs all those new obstacles and sort of has a go at making a little playground, and this is the gauntlet for season 3.
Oh, so you approach these new opening levels as a way to just kind of like introduce everyone to all the new concepts that are going to be popping up throughout the season?
No!
Yeah, pretty much. Because it's obviously going to be the first round that people play of the new stuff. Yeah, we try and pop everything in there so they have a bit of an idea what's happening. And it's also just a bit of a chance for one of the designers to go a bit mad and, you know, create some really
Freezy Qual!
Okay, so
yeah,
this is something...
So Freezy Qual is going to be a thing. We're going to make it a thing.
So I'm sure you've both heard of the term easy qual.
Yeah.
Gary is really into the idea of a freezy qual for season 3.
Just give me this one thing.
And
I
here's
need a
the
win
thing.
in 2020.
Here's the thing. I'm with you because I think this level needs to be renamed. I think it needs to be Tundra Tumble, not Tundra Run. Alliteration always works better. So Hoopsie Legends from season 2, it needs to be Hoopsie Heroes. And I know that you've heard a lot about this over at Fall Guys HQ, and I'm sure you're sick of hearing about it, but they're just better names.
I think it still burns Kate that she couldn't get Hoopsie Heroes to catch on at Mediatonic. She tried, and we all really tried. We made a concerted effort.
Well, I remember at some point we put like a internal ban on alliteration in the names, which I don't know why. I don't really know why. This was quite early on, and I think we tried to keep it for a while. It obviously didn't work because I think there are some that do. So I guess it's not hard and fast rule now.
What are the alliterative names? Doordash? I'm trying to think of the other one. Like, what are the big ones?
Doordash, there's
I mean, Slime Climb rhymes. It's not alliteration, but it rhymes.
Slime Climb rhyme. Slime Climb rhyme.
All right. Okay, so who do we blame for this one? Because this one has been driving me nuts.
Oh, I love this one.
This is another Meg.
This is wonderful.
Is it Meg special?
Sorry.
No, this is a great level. I love this level.
I love it. I think this is my favorite new level.
I'm getting murdered on this one already.
I think it might be too, actually. It might be one of mine.
But
Meg, give us the pro strats here.
So, I shouldn't be telling everyone this because it's debatable as to whether it's a bug or not, but go down the side.
Skip the first one, right?
With it, there's no point getting those.
I guess the tip is on this last one, just go for the fan and get blown into the gold ring.
I'll go for
Is
that
what I've
gold
been
ball.
hearing.
You can just jump.
You can, but I'll never pull it off. I don't have the skill level.
Freezy Qual.
There you go. See, it's catching on, Kate.
Okay.
It's catching on. Oh, god damn it. I got hit by the thing.
Oh.
So, yeah, the strat that I've heard... Oh, Gary, I don't know if you've got this.
It's not going to be a Freezy Qual for me.
I don't
it's
think
just
so.
not.
Get that gold, maybe?
No Freezy Quals. All spectate.
I've heard the strat is to slide down the sides, avoid the first ring altogether, and then go do the second and third, basically keep doing that. Because then your speed boost stays for the second one.
When I was playing with Adam last night, that's what he was doing, just running straight for the fan at the end and going for like 3 gold rings in a row and out. Seems to be a way to go.
So it's risky because sometimes the golds, like, you know, it's not the perfect strategy. But also another hot tip is if you do jump through the middle, to the first ring, you can flip back using the flipper and you can get silvers that way. So you can end up just qualifying by going through the first chute twice.
Yeah, I haven't been able to get that flipper yet. I'll admit to that.
Yeah.
I've tried.
It's a tough one, but it's beautiful.
No.
So this is a JJ special, right?
Is this a JJ?
This is a JJ.
It's very good.
JJ, tell us about this one. Tell us about this one from like inception to what we're playing right now. How did this one start in your imagination?
It's super interesting because we started this as it was going to be a final round, and the idea really was like we tried to do it with basically you had the exact same inception point as Slime Climb, which was I've gone off the edge. Which was we wanted to essentially...
I'm watching you as you play here.
Oh no. Yeah, the core idea was like basically starting people around a circular mountain, and the original was like we're gonna have it made entirely of slime, so you would be like I think we were gonna have like 20 people around a cone. Oh no, that's awful.
I'm watching this right now.
I'm out. I've just lost.
No, keep going. Never say never.
Yeah.
Is there some? Am I right in feeling like there's a little Slime Climb DNA in this one?
Yeah, definitely. Like I think we. Oh, that's sad.
A bit of Slime Climb and everything, JJ. The madness of that level.
Well. Yeah, I think so. So just to go back. Like we wanted it to be a kind of final round, and it was going to be everyone standing around the bottom, which I still really like this idea of like loads of people around a bottom cone, but like to make it big enough to make it a substantial level, and that anybody can approach from 360 degrees is pretty crazy. It basically turned into that kind of half circle shape, and then. We could add this massive spiral, which was like, I'm going to say no to that, and they didn't, which was really nice of them.
Is it a weird feeling when you're the designer of a level, as you were playing it just there and finding yourself getting frustrated and confounded by who do you complain to, right? You're the reason why you're having a hard time on that level when you're the designer of it.
I'll tell you what, Gary. When I get frustrated on a level, it means I know I've done my job.
Good.
I know.
That's a very healthy attitude to have, I think. Yeah. The more frustrated you get, the better you feel about yourself professionally.
Yeah, exactly.
That's where our self-loathing as designers come from, I think.
Yeah.
Tell us about this one. Tell us about what's it called? Snowball Scrap?
I have a new name for it.
Of course you do.
It's called Snow Your Roll.
Well,
okay, that's pretty good. That's good. Snow Your Roll. I like that.
I've just realized that this one is alliterative, and you want to change that.
Yes, because Snow Your Roll is a pun, like ski fall.
Wait, snowy roll?
Snow your roll, like slow your roll.
Okay, that is brilliant. That
right?
is brilliant.
Come on.
We need you on the team.
I have been
honestly,
saying this.
Kate's moving to London.
Bad.
You should just get her on the team. I feel like that's the natural endpoint of this whole enterprise.
And honestly,
working on Fall Guys.
I would work for Mediatonic as a consultant for naming levels only. Like I don't even need to be in the office. Just we can have give me the levels. I'll come up with a name. I'm available.
Well, yeah.
The real tragedy is.
Sorry, go ahead, Meg.
We come up with the names for the levels pretty last minute, so.
Yeah.
So just give me a call.
Is it often a heat? Like who gets in terms of coming up with the names? Do you all like submit suggestions, and how do you decide on what the final names for the levels are? Does it get heated? Like, is it an easy process? How do you name these levels?
It's usually just a thread someone throws in Slack before we have to do localization, so it's really last minute.
It's so last minute. It's actually ridiculous. And it's more like just bad. It's just like nobody can take it seriously. Everyone's got bad ideas. And we're just like, this one sounds feasible. And it's like, is there any kind of rude innuendo to be played on this name? No. Okay, well, that will work then. Because, you know, there's so much going on that it really is like, by the time we name these levels, we're working on the next season, really. So it's like, right. Oh no, we need to do it.
They must have working titles while you're developing them, though, right?
Yeah, but they're terrible.
Yeah. What was actually, Snowy Scrap is the only one. That was its working title. But the working title for Freezy Peak was Ice Climb, because it was going to be a slime climb.
Do you feel like Nintendo would have had something to say about that?
Potentially, but I think we could have sort of put a wink in the title, and they famously don't care really about that kind of stuff. So
they're pretty.
Now, Meg, is this you? Because obviously this has a very Hexagon flavor to it.
This is actually Joe came up with the original.
Oh,
one.
Okay. Joe, tell us about this. Was it inspired by Hexagon?
Joe or JJ?
Joe Walsh.
It was Joe Walsh.
Joe
Joe
Walsh.
Walsh. Toxic
Fall Guys player. Absolutely.
I genuinely think I don't want to blow some of Joe's genius here, but I think that we had this obstacle made, and we were like, we actually don't have a level for it yet, and we were like, what if we could, why don't we try this? Because this is like, people love Hexagon. Could this work? And it was pretty instantly like, well, there's something here, obviously. Like, we have to make this work. And we had a few different like variants of it where it was like, we had one where it was just one sheet of ice, and it was really like high in the sky, and it was like, and it was massive. Like, it was just one massive sheet of ice, and that was quite cool, except everyone was eliminated within like 20 seconds.
This one goes on a little bit longer.
Do people love Hexagon though? Do they?
Yes, we do. Very much.
Kate loves it. Kate, as a big Hexagon player, how do you like this new version of it?
I'm still trying to figure it out, to be perfectly honest. Like, I don't think I've actually won on this level yet.
Well, here we go.
Maybe.
This is it right here. Look at this.
This is it.
You're actually pretty well positioned.
Yeah.
Keep it together. Keep it together. It's you and one other person. Oh, I think you're actually looking good. You're looking good.
Oh. No!
Wait.
I got eliminated. It's not me.
You were the last person.
Oh.
Heartbreaking. That was so close.
Heartbreaking.
You're getting close to figuring it out.
Yeah. Good, because I have a massive tournament tomorrow, and I really need to know how to play these games.
Well, let me ask the devs this: if you're good at Hexagon, are you going to have a leg up on that round, or is it different enough that not everything carries over?
I think it's different, to be honest, and I think the best strategy people play is they just stand still on them and then wait till they get to the bottom, and then they jump to another stack of 3. That's what I've seen. I could be wrong there, because we haven't really seen people develop their own strategies for that one yet. But I would. Do you get because obviously you playtest these things a lot internally? Do you get surprised though once you actually put these levels out in the real world and see the strategies that do develop? Like, oh wow, you can do that. We didn't even think that you could do that, but people are doing it, and it's like a strategy. Absolutely, yeah. There's not much of that. Like,
and I think because part of it is like, we play it as much as we can, but to playtest a 60-player game over and over, it takes it. I mean, I guess you could say it costs a lot of money, right, to be able to basically stop people working on other stuff and to play the game. And obviously, there's a certain amount of that that's necessary, but we test as much as we possibly can. But on the first day of this stuff launching, people are going to play it way more than we ever could. So it's immediately. These strategies just emerge through people sharing stuff online and like watching other people play and being like, oh, we could do it that way.
I am kind of sad
I feel like you probably learn more about a level that you designed in like the 3 days after it's been released than like the 3 months prior to that when you're testing it internally.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Why I think like we're particularly bad is because like you test it a lot, but you test it on your own, and as soon as you shove 60 people there, it just changes everything, and you just get so mad because people are so annoying. Yeah, like when you're on your own, you're like, I'm amazing at this, and I can finish this in 5 seconds flat. But yeah, we just don't really have the time to test it with 60 players or however many players over and over again. So that's kind of where the difficulty comes in, I think. That's where it changes.
I would be great at this game if it wasn't for other people.
Yeah,
that's what I say often is it's not that I don't like the game, it's that I don't like people. And this game is a great kind of crucible for that.
I mean, one of my favorite pastimes is to just open up the full ball scene and play on my own and like do all these like amazing skills that I can never do in the actual game because of other people.
That's like Gary's favorite level. He said he would pay $20 just for fall ball.
Just for fall ball.
I'm with you. I am absolutely with you.
It's my favorite game.
Yeah, I would love to play it more, and I barely get to play it because I feel like it's quite a late game, right? It's like 10 to 20 people, I think, in that round. So we did have the Full Ball World Cup recently, but I think there's just something about about that team size around about 6v6. It just feels perfect, and I would love to play more of that. Like,
I love it. I've thought about that as well, the idea of like having a practice mode, but like it's one thing to run the course and navigate the obstacles, but doing it with 60 idiots at the same time is like that's the real challenge.
Yeah.
And you can't simulate that.
And it is something we've had to get better at as level designers, to try and anticipate how things will feel when there are that many people around, because as we say, like you don't get that many times to iterate on these levels because of, you know, how hard it is to get proper playtest up. So you have to be really sure when you're going into a playtest that you've done as much guesswork as you possibly can. Oh no! Sorry,
I'm having the worst time over here. Oh my god, freezy qual!
Yeah.
It was lucky though.
All of us
I didn't feel like it was a freezy qual. It felt like it was
every qual is a freezy qual.
Easy quals or freezy quals.
I see. Okay. So this is my question about freezy quals, right? When we get to season 4, does that mean we need a new? Is that gonna have to change again? Like we need a new pun?
I mean,
it'll depend. Like we didn't have like a medieval version of freezy qual.
No.
It'll depend on what the next theme is.
Well, maybe we'll have to decide the theme based on the pun.
Yeah, like
exactly.
how puntastic is this theme? You guys are presumably either already batting around big ideas for season 4, or in fact already know what it is. You just can't tell us, right?
Yeah, we're deep.
Wow.
Can you give us any hints, maybe?
I mean, that's totally it.
It's a world exclusive.
I'm not going to stop you.
There'd be a lot of people that would be very upset, I think.
I mean, Riot Games just announced a League of Legends MMO in like a casual tweet the other day. So, you know, what's stopping you?
Well, that blows our Fall Guys MMO news right out of the water, doesn't it?
Hey, is this gold? Is that in the gold ring in the center? Is that in any way reachable, or is that
from
just
the paddle on the other side?
Oh, okay.
But I do think part of you know, one of the cool things about the game for me is the variation stuff, and we can, you know, keep adding stuff to these levels and random stuff and yeetus and that kind of thing. And I think that is going to play a big part in getting those middle gold hoots as well whenever that happens. But yeah, I think.
Oh god damn it!
I've often
this one especially is quite ripe for that.
I've often said that when the variations on the levels come out, it does kind of feel like all of you folks at Fall Guys HQ have just decided to get together on a Friday, have some drinks, throw all the pieces of a level into a hat and see what you pull out and go, yep, that works. Because it's like, why is this here? Why is this a thing? And obviously it works beautifully, but sometimes I'm just like, what were they thinking? This is impossible. Meaning in the best possible way, of course.
Yeah, it's interesting because for the first two lots...
I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to make it.
No.
Oh, no.
I'm through the hoop. I'm through the hoop. That's not fair.
Hold on,
I saw you go through.
No, you needed one more point.
I was in the hoop.
Okay, you and I both got denied right at the last ring. I was at the last gold ring that would have got me through, and I got denied right at the rim.
Robbed.
I got rim job. Again.
You can't say that on the internet, Gary.
Oh, can you not? Okay.
No.
It's a Britishism, isn't it, for something else? It means
no, we don't need to.
I wasn't aware. I just thought it was what happens when you don't make it through a ring at the last second. I made it up specifically for that.
No.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about the really polite use of it, which is just like tea and cake.
No.
Oh, absolutely.
We all know as that. Well, I won't say it again.
We're guests on Kate's channel here. We should be better behaved.
Oh, I thought we were on Gary's channel. I thought we could say.
Oh, yeah, on my channel, nobody cares.
Oh my god. Question for both of you. Do you have favorite levels from designers who are not you?
I hate them all.
Great. Awesome. Good answer.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, to be honest, I said Skiffle. I think genuinely that is one of my favorites. I mean, Whirligig is brilliant. Shout out to Peps.
I personally like Seesaw, but people seem to really hate that level.
It's a very polarizing level.
Yeah.
People have strong opinions one way or the other.
I think it's an incredible technical marvel. And I think it's sort of underrated how difficult that level was to get working, but I also wonder, was it worth it? Because sometimes it comes up and I'm like, oh, people are
It really does cover the full emotional spectrum. Like I've said before, on those rare occasions when you get out in front and it's just flat seesaws all the way to the finish line, that's like the best experience you can have.
It is.
But then whatever is the exact opposite of that, where just nothing is going your way, it is the absolute just bottomless depths of frustration.
It's astounding how many people don't understand basic physics. Both in Seesaw and also in like Night Fever with drawbridges. They don't, just timing. They don't understand that if it's gonna go back down.
I think it's pressure, isn't it? It's like you put people into a high pressure situation and all logic seems to go out of the window. And I think we see that with, like, I see that most obviously when playing my own levels. Like, it's like I've played this so many times over and over and over. I should be good at this, and yet the pressure suddenly gets to you and you're doing things you'd never done before. So yeah, I don't want to be mean to our entire player base. I think that they do have brains. They just sometimes switch off.
My favorite thing about Seesaw is you hear people go, I don't know why it has to be so difficult. If everyone would just work together. I'm like, yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
If only.
Yeah.
Hey, it's Penguin. It's Penguin for cute.
So let's
this just
talk
showed
about
up, right?
Penguin.
Because it didn't ship with season 3. You added it in right after.
I think there was just a bug where it wasn't picking it, and we're not really sure why. So I think we've just upped the percentage it'll show up because of that.
So it wasn't a case of with
Jump
Showdown, yeah, where you just forgot to press the button to put it in the game.
Because we know,
I think it was in the.
yeah, we know all your secrets. We know that you forgot to put Jump Showdown in the game. We know.
So Meg, I've only played this once so far, and it does seem like complete chaos. But I'm sure there is some method to the madness. What do we need to know about this in terms of how you designed it and how you're supposed to play it?
So this was originally going to be a launch level. We had this for a long time. I had this idea of chasing around these little chickens because we had all these like lines, and I was like, well, I'm putting that in. And so I designed this sort of farmyard. This was supposed to be a bit of a farmyard sort of style environment, and they were originally eggs that were running around, and then they were chickens, and now they're penguins. But yeah, it just got so messy with the amount of grabbing, and we originally had it at something like 40 people or something like that, like a really high.
Oh my goodness!
It was just madness. It was absolute madness. And so we spent a lot of time working on like the character and the grabbing and stuff like that, and making things like that smoother. So it's sort of taken this long to get it to a point where you can actually play it, even though it is still a bit of a mess. It is still like
it's a crazy. It is. Yeah. It's pretty. It's
So
chaotic.
are there any tips you can give on this one?
not really.
Just hope for the best.
It's just so much about the players, and they're so annoying in this. So yeah, obviously you can see that the penguin can go under all the obstacles in the level. I put the hurdles at the top and the like turnstiles and the section in the middle. So you'll just have to watch that. And a good way to sort of, if someone is chasing you, you can chase a penguin under the turnstiles or something like that, and it'll sort of block the other person. But that's probably the only piece of info I can give you, really.
So Joe's still alive here?
Oh,
JJ,
yeah.
sorry?
Yeah, I'm flying.
You're the last one standing, right? Out of our squad here.
Any chances of Penguin plushies in the future? Because I know that so many people love Penguin and the design, but they just want a little Penguin plush.
I would love that. I'd love that so much.
I mean, I don't know where the merch, like where are the plushies? You know, I was thinking
the same thing. I think definitely some Fall Guys plushies, and I think you should actually like for the penguins. I would actually make little clockwork ones. I think that would be adorable.
That would be cute too.
That would be great. I've got to focus. I'm not as good as I can't talk and play like Kate.
This is part of
the whole point.
Thing. So. I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going through my chat and finding a question for you. Here's a great question. For upcoming seasons, when it's no longer the winter theme, will the winter themed levels still be winter themed, or do you plan on reskinning them?
Oh, they'll still be winter themed. So we're hoping to have basically in a year or something like that, you'll be able to have a mix of different themed levels, which will be really fun. But at the moment, we don't have resources to go back and sort of change existing levels, which is fair enough when we could be making new stuff. So yeah, this will stay the same, I think.
And I also think if we rethemed it to think of snowy scrap, I don't even know what that would be. Maybe just a big ball of slime. That doesn't sound very nice. Pretty grim.
Yeah, not great, if I'm being honest. But it's sort of Katamari Damacy sort of vibe.
Yeah, I guess.
It could just be other jelly beans. Now, here's a lore question for both of you.
Oh no. Kate's really into her Fall Guys lore.
How tall are these beans in your mind?
It's really hard because we built them to a scale of 2 meters,
so they're 6 feet tall. They're huge.
I disagree. I think they're 6 feet tall in Fall Guy world, which is smaller. Maybe I don't know. I can't imagine them as anything smaller than little beans. I just can't.
So
I'm gonna lose.
Do they have skeletons?
Oh, unlucky.
Do they have bones?
They don't have mouths. I think that's where you got to start, right? So they don't have mouths, so they can't ingest anything. So they have to have some kind of internal energy source.
I still maintain that the size of the beans is irrelevant because 6 feet on our world means something, but this is some other planet, dimension, reality, whatever. 6 feet doesn't mean anything to these beans. It's just whatever size they are. You got to think about it.
It's just if I imagine standing next to imagine seeing yourself on the podium, right, and next to them, and they're being taller. That's pretty messed up. I don't like that.
You've seen some of the stuff that Oliver has been tweeting, right?
I've seen a lot of
the anatomical stuff is very disturbing.
You try to forget. I try my best to take in as much of it as possible because I really want to know what's going on with these beans.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I liked getting into the more philosophical discussion where we were talking to Joe about who are these beans? Why are they there? Who's watching? Who's on the other side of those cameras? That's the part of the lore I want to get into.
Yeah, so that there's some interesting things from the human world in there, right? There's fruit. So fruit exists in the world, and so does advertising, which is also pretty weird. Yeah. You know what? We had one of the first audio passes that we did. We were trying to figure out what they sounded like, and we got a pass of them filled with liquid, so they would make liquid noises every time they got hit by. So I don't know, maybe there's an indication.
So they would kind of slosh around when they were stumbling around. That's even more disturbing.
Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah, that is odd. But I think I like that. I think I like that than. More than the skeleton. I think just you could if that's true, we could do juice. We could do Fall Guy juice. We could make a whole range of that. That could be pretty.
It's only a matter of time.
It's merch. So
that could be a good. Yeah.
For JJ, the creator of Slime Climb, you're very well versed in slime. How do you feel about the thought that the pink slime is actually just ground up Fall Guys?
The Soylent Green theory.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. That is one that I buy into. I think that could be true. But I don't think that would dissuade me from drinking it because I think it would taste I think it would still taste really sweet and delicious.
Yes, agreed. And then the second working theory that I've had is, especially on something like Jump Club with the fruit variations now, is that the slime is actually just a smoothie and the Jump Club spinners is a blender.
Yeah, I like that. And I think you could have like Fall Guys are the base of the smoothie, right? And then it's juice, it's fruit and that kind of stuff. But then I think those fruits are like blown up fruits, aren't they? They're not actual. God. They're like fake fruit.
Are they?
Yeah. I don't know how they're made. I'm not sure. But if you look close enough, you can see they're like blown up. They're blow up.
Oh,
fruits.
like the trees in the winter levels.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, do they even have fruit in this world, or is it just they know of fruit and somebody knows about fruit and it's like, oh cool, this is this thing called fruit, and to them it's like, oh wow, amazing. And to us it's just a banana.
Our Fall Guys bubble tea. Our Fall Guys bubble tea boba. Are they the pearls in bubble tea? Perhaps.
Yeah, I think that could be true. And I think like I don't know, like we eat chickens, and and meat and that kind of thing. And I think Fall Guys, when they do fall into the slime, there's nothing that they want more than to be slurped up in a delicious smoothie. But obviously they can't tell us otherwise. That's the difficult thing.
Because they don't have mouths?
No, yeah, exactly. So it's kind of hard to know, but I think you got to just assume that they want to be drank.
I feel like we're going to have to wait for the inevitable animated TV series or feature film to really get to the bottom of the answers to these questions.
It's fine by me. I'm happy that somebody wants to talk to me about them, because Gary has shut me down every time I want to talk about the anatomy of a Fall Guy.
It's not just me.
Listen.
I think what has really fueled it is Devolver. Like, I think that without them on this project, if we'd had a different publisher, I think they might have tried to stray away from it even more and been like, no, this is a wholesome thing. And I think Devolver, basically to bring it more in line with the rest of their brand, try to soil it at every turn.
Good.
Which I think is great. Yeah, it works really well, and it kind of gives us the license to talk about it as well, because it doesn't. I think there are dark secrets in this world.
Oh, many.
And I hope.
I told you my theory. Did I remember I told Joe my theory that like the superior alien race that built these beans to like perform for their entertainment like died out in some apocalyptic war, centuries ago. But like the beans don't know that. Like there's no one on the other side of those cameras, but they don't know what else to do, so they just keep playing the game.
I love that, and I really. Oh, sorry. Go on, Kate.
Oh, I was just building on that. I think what Joe Walsh was saying is that
God damn it,
their only purpose in this world is to compete, and the only emotions they know is compete. So even at the end of the round, when they're on the pedestal and they've lost, they still show happiness because they fulfilled their purpose of competing. Yeah. And then they move on to the next episode.
I think they have a basic range of emotions, like happiness is associated with victory and sadness is associated with defeat. But like, the way Joe explained it, these beans don't have like lives outside of this game. Like this, they have no comprehension of reality outside of these courses that they compete in.
Yeah, and I think like I would love the opportunity, and this is completely not canon, but I would love the opportunity to just like in one season to just open a door and escape and
like a Truman Show kind of thing.
Yeah, like a Truman Show or like a Portal. I think Portal does that amazingly as well. Like in both of those games, and that kind of thing. Like, who knows? I don't know what lies outside the walls of this dome.
The Blunder Dome.
The Blunder Dome. Maybe we don't want to know. That's what scares me as well.
Oh, but I desperately do.
But it's the kind of maybe it's like it's a Garden of Eden thing, right? It's like, well,
as a guy who does story and world building for a living, it's a very rich playground. Like as you can see, like we spent like 20 minutes talking about this nonsense. Like everyone's got thoughts.
I love it, and I hope we have more time to think about it going forward. I think it was very much something that we had a small team to get this to launch, and it was like we don't have. We just don't have time to
Fall Guys RPG
figure this out.
Where
but
you get more into the story a little bit.
I think that could work. Like, I guess the only issue is like, because I saw somebody also, somebody mentioned, I think it was the Nintendo thing this week, and they were like, Fall Guy in Smash, like how great would that be? I agree, like that would be amazing, but I also don't know what they can do. Like, what can they really do apart from grab?
They can honk.
All over.
They can honk.
They can honk.
But here's the thing: going back
Emotes.
to Meg's point of they don't have mouths. Where's this honk sound or their little woohoos coming from? Because that's deeply upsetting me.
Yeah,
Look,
because
I've
they do
thought
have
about
little
this a lot.
emotes and little sounds that they make.
I feel like Meg has the answer.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to tell any of you.
No!
I feel like it's better off left to the imagination. You don't want people to fill in all the blanks for you.
I do have a question about Snow Your Roll that we're playing. Sorry, I don't. Snowy Scrap. What's it actually called?
Snowy Scrap.
Snowy Scrap.
Yeah.
When the snowballs get to be a certain size, we do notice that some fruit or little bits shows up on the snowballs. Obviously, the red one is strawberries. Can you give us a definitive answer of what the yellow and the blue ones are, please?
Oh, they're sprinkles. They're supposed to be like little scoops.
Are they?
Yeah.
And does that affect the movement?
Hold on.
ball?
I want to know what JJ was just about to say.
I thought the yellow one was. At first I thought it was fudge pieces, but I thought that doesn't work. And then I thought it was mango. And then I thought the blue one is like little blueberries.
Yeah, because the red one's very obviously strawberries.
Yeah. I don't.
Fall Guys has built an entire business model based on people not being able to agree on what a fruit looks like. So we should definitely lean into that.
Well, it was something that we knew we wanted something, to indicate that the ball was a certain size. We're getting really destroyed here.
Heck.
So it indicates that the ball is a certain size. Does it affect the physics of the ball at all once it has those pieces on the outside of it?
No, I don't think so. But it really was like one day in a playtest, we saw it for the first time, and it was like, what is going on? Because I was actually quite scared. We saw the strawberries, but they kind of looked like they could be like little monsters or something.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. And then it became clear that, oh, right, it's a fruit thing. But yeah, I'm actually... So what did you say, Meg? Sprinkles?
Yeah, you would have seen the concept art, right?
Okay, I'm second.
I did, but...
The blue one looks like some kind of virus molecule.
I know,
or something.
that's what I
scary.
thought too. Like the red one's very cute with the strawberries, but then the blue one freaks me out every single time I see it.
I quite like how freaky it is.
The green and the blue ones, it's really hard to tell. The red one's obvious, but now that I'm looking at it, yeah, they just look like little nodules or something.
Yeah,
What's going on there?
I think it's mango, Meg. But I mean, I feel like you actually know the answer, but I might stick with mango. I'd eat that. A frozen
JJ
mango ball.
and Kate still in?
Yep. That was
We
my
did.
best time, my fastest time on that level.
Oh, nice.
Here we go again.
Okay, we got a 1 in 6 chance of having a winner on this.
That's not how. There's. Excuse me.
That is how it works.
That's not-
that's
not
a secret.
the maths on that.
Okay, you're still waiting for a crown on this one?
We have two of us in there.
But there's.
We're getting a crown.
Yeah,
There's 12
that's right.
people,
One, yeah,
right?
1 in
So-
6. That makes sense.
Is
2 out
that
of 12.
right? Okay, sure. That did not. That's not how my brain worked on that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it doesn't really work that way, but it gives me hope.
I'll go with it. You know what? That's fine.
Yeah.
Why
You're
doesn't it work
likely
that
smart.
way, though?
I'm very
2 and 12
bad
are
at
the same
math,
thing.
so that's totally fine.
Okay.
Well, I guess like
No, it
basically, right?
I'm
I
dumb.
think like it's not actually the chance of it though, right? Because the chance of me winning is like 1 in 50.
Right.
That's
kind of more what I was.
You're not weighting it for skill.
Yeah, that's kind of more what I was
Yeah.
going with, but.
Yeah. Well, mine was more about like trying to put some optimism into us going into this. Cause...
Optimism doesn't work for me anymore.
Oh, okay.
This year has taken it away from me.
Okay, well, I'm gonna keep on being optimistic. I believe we're
appreciate
gonna
that.
get a win.
I like the optimism. You've got to keep a positive mental attitude in this game, as much as it
You
puts up a
really
fight.
do. Yeah, you have to.
And it's hard because this is a very rage quitty game.
Yeah,
For you, it is.
I mean,
I've said before, this game doesn't build character; it reveals it.
I think the most stressful playtest we ever had were playing tail tag in the studio.
Oh god.
I don't want to talk about tail tag, JJ. That tail tag has cost me $5,000 US.
What? Really?
Yes, I was in a tournament, and tail tag cost me $5,000.
That's really rough. But you're gonna win it. You're gonna win.
Yes!
Did you get it? Did you get it? I think you got it. You got it.
I told you.
Congratulations, Kate.
See, you know what? You switch the button. You're like, oh god, she's mad at tail tag. Let's make her win a crown.
Well, I mean, that makes up for the $5,000, doesn't it? Really?
Yeah, no, for sure. Not bad.
That'll work.
Beautiful.
Nice.
We take
Well
these.
done, Kate.
Ooh,
Should we go to should we shift to play the whole rounds of levels?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's go for it.
Let's flip it up. We'll go to main show. If I did just do main show, that will also include the winter levels, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get that going back here. All right, here we go. Main show. Let's see what we get.
Nice. I'm excited. There are some of these where I think Joe mentioned it recently, but he was like, there are some levels that pop up now and we have like genuine nostalgia, like, oh yeah, that's in there. Because we are getting to the point now where there's a lot.
I had that because we were playing a lot of the winter levels, because you want to play the new stuff. And then when we did the main show, like Whirligig popped up, and like, oh, this takes me back. It's like, it wasn't even that long ago, but you feel nostalgic about some of the first levels you played.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Also,
I mean, that's the plan for like a year's time, right? When you get, like you say, you get Whirligig, then you're like, oh yeah, I remember when we were all in lockdown, and
as you continue to build the game and add more and more seasons, do you imagine that like the pool of levels that the game will choose from each time will just continue to get bigger and bigger and bigger? That eventually there's like 200 levels that could pop at any given time, or is it like, do you need to cap it at some point?
Yeah, as much as we'd love that, there's definitely going to be some space, like restraints on that. I think, especially like, it's just going to be too much. So I guess we're going to cycle them in and out. We haven't really decided that because we haven't obviously hit that barrier.
But that's great though.
Yeah.
Because you could have levels like the Mcrib, like it's back.
Yeah.
It was gone, but now it's back, and you're excited because it's not here all the time. But we're bringing like a fan favorite back or something.
It's a great problem to have, like. And yeah, I think Meg's right. We'll deal with it. we'll deal with that later.
I mean, we have.
Speaking of fan favorites,
this level sucks.
It's historically significant, right? Because it was the first ever level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First level. And I think it's a level. It really is. You can be, no matter how good you are at Fall Guys.
This level will ruin you. No, exactly. And that's, I don't mean it sucks from a design standpoint, but from a player standpoint, it is so easy to fall behind. And even the like especially going into tournaments, going into most levels, you can be like, okay, I feel confident in this level. Every player that I see in a tournament, no matter how good they are, will see this and they'll start sweating and they're like, oh, okay, I don't know if I'm making it through it.
I love that. I love it.
This level can turn around on you so quickly.
It really can. Like
That's the beauty of it.
You can feel like you're way out in the lead, and I think it is super interesting because it's like the audience of this entire game. We never really expected it to be an esports style thing in the way it kind of has, and tournaments. Like obviously you expect tournaments, but I think. Going forward, we have to try and keep that balance of levels that sort of pros are going to appreciate, and also levels that anyone can pick up and get through. Like I think that was the one we took to shows because it was everybody could play it and immediately understand it and be like, yeah, I know that I can win this. And it is, it's obviously there's luck in it, but I think it's got a lovely mix of that. But yeah, that is what we've got to try and achieve throughout the entire game, really. Mm-hmm. Back on Ski4.
I have a question from a game developer in chat, and I don't know what this means, so I apologize if I'm getting trolled and it means nothing. But what polycount are you looking at for each character and level overall? Does that question make sense?
7.
It's a very technical question.
It's a very technical question, which is why I don't understand it. But if there's a game developer is asking, so I want to try to answer it if possible.
So yeah, that's not something that we know as the level designers. That's more of an art question because they would be optimizing a bunch of stuff.
Got
it.
Yeah. We probably.
I can take a guess though.
Go for it.
Take a guess.
About 20,000.
Well, now you know.
There you go.
When you guys are developing, so obviously you look at the pros and cons of like, is this level working? Is this a level we want to add to the game? But I presume you're also kind of like thinking about it in like a more holistic way, like thinking about the season as a whole, right? Like what's the right mix of levels that is going to be additive to the game, like as a season, right? You got to think about it kind of on different levels.
Definitely, yeah. Oh
my god,
I got
this is painful to watch.
All of us are
yeah,
through,
and
right?
I think it's definitely. I think that is especially something that is a kind of privilege that we're going to be able to use more and more as we go forward. Like I think, as Meg mentioned, season 2 was kind of like things that we had, or things that we like that we could do in that time, and it was less thinking about like, okay, how does this balance out the rest of the game? And I think that is definitely something we think about much more now, to the point of like brainstorming around specific things where it's like, okay, well, we haven't had a new survival game in a while, so we're going to do that, or we haven't had this kind of thing, and trying to be more specific about filling those holes and who each level is kind of for. Because I think Joe made a really good point with like the kind of like the whole flow of this game is in a sense it's similar to a battle royale in like a battle royale. The difficulty is all about where you land, what weapons are near you, and how you can use that going forward. And I think like the route through the levels can have a different difficulty each time, as long as in general we get a good mix of difficulty. If everything was a slime climb, then it wouldn't work, and it wouldn't be as accessible and wouldn't allow for like as many people who have enjoyed this game to enjoy this game. Mm-hmm. So it is really important to balance that and make sure that each route has a kind of different difficulty flow. And I think that's interesting in a way, because it means like certain crown wins like might mean more than others to you. Like, well, to me, any crown win would mean something, but like if you had a particularly hard run and won a crown on that, where you had like slime climb and you had other levels that are particularly hard, then I think it's like it's almost got that personal sheen for you, right? It's like, I really had to earn this one. But I don't think anyone would complain about an easy crown, right?
No, take it all.
Speaking of...
I celebrate when the game gives me one for grinding.
Speaking of slime climb, I think I brought this up with Ben and Peps, but have you thought about doing a show mode, which is just slime climb back to back to back to back with increasingly difficult variations until there's a crown winner?
I would love to do that, right? Meg, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, we'd have to.
Oh, no. Okay, nothing happened. We're fine. Keep answering the question.
Yeah, I might scream in a moment here, because I always get fucked in the last 5 seconds of this game. So
sorry, didn't mean to cut you off. Interested in the answer?
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Sorry.
No. Oh no! What happened? Did we lose someone?
No.
Wait,
I think
I managed to stay, but
I'm definitely gone.
Everybody?
I don't think Meg was actually in this round.
No, I didn't get through.
What happened?
She didn't qualify in a different round. She was just being very quiet about it.
I was too busy kicking myself, because I actually did qualify in ski fall, and I failed to say freezy qual the first time I actually.
My goodness.
It's never going to stick if I don't keep using it.
Yeah,
my favorite.
Oh
Come
no!
Let's do it.
Oh, you have the hard variation though.
Nice. We've got
the hammers.
By the way, Gary, I know you're a Tottenham fan.
I am.
I'm a Liverpool fan, so it's going to be interesting to see us come together for this one. But we've got to put our differences.
Yeah, it was a good game this past week.
It was a great game. You deserved it. You did deserve it. I think Jose was right.
Yeah, I Jose got a little bit. Jose got a little bit salty.
He did get salty.
We're in.
Hey! I love this.
While
That's
JJ and Gary are playing this,
goal.
Meg, I'll ask you this question. How do you feel of a potential? Hold on. How do you feel about a potential for community-made levels where you give the
Shit, 3-1.
building blocks of the levels and open it up for people in the community to make custom levels?
Yeah, we've definitely talked about that. It's sort of hard because we don't really have much of a level editor system ourselves. It's pretty manual, the process that we use. So it would be great to do that if we had the building blocks of something like a level editor that we used, but it's not really like that. But we have talked about like ripping out pieces and sort of giving people a playing field, like the gauntlets, which are the big races, like being able to give people a base there and they can sort of put their own obstacles around. That's a little way off at the moment just because we're just trying to figure out how we would do something like that, but it's definitely something we've talked about.
Ooh.
We got this in the bag, JJ.
That's nice.
We are doing really well. I saw you scored a lovely goal.
I did. I'm on a hat trick if I get another one.
Also, follow-up question just about kind of your dream sort of scenario. Without limitations of design, what would be, Meg, let's start with you. What would be your dream skin in the game?
Oh.
Because for me, I think it would probably be like my cat or something to do with planets or something like that, like having planets rotate around the bean and like a little orbit sort of thing to go along with my spaceman vibe.
Oh, I love that. Oh, like a galaxy costume or something.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's a really good question. I'm going to have to think about that, I think.
JJ, feel free to answer yourself.
The one I was lobbying for ages was the duck, and I'm glad we got that in. We've got a 4-person final. This is gonna be Royal Fumble.
50-50.
Oh, no.
I think this is gonna be a fall.
Oh no, shit! It's gonna be Royal Fumble, isn't it?
Oh no!
No.
Okay, well, one of us.
All right. Well, may the best bean win.
Hold on. Is the wall patched out? Did they patch out the wall?
I think that's been fixed.
Oh,
Yeah.
What a shame. That was fun.
Yeah, I think I actually fixed that, so I'm sorry.
Hey, why did you do that?
Oh, I've got it. Oh, shit. JJ's already taken it from me. I held on to it for 2 seconds.
JJ, why did you patch out the wonderful... You can test it, I guess, but why did you patch out the wonderful invisible wall? We loved it so much.
I
mean, it was broken for sure, but...
Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of why. I mean, for every person that loves it, there are many people very angry and very sweary on Reddit that don't. So
yeah, they're just louder, you know.
But that's the problem. We listen to. Maybe we gave in. Maybe we should allow the bug. But,
no, go away. Leave me alone.
I'm gonna grab him. I'm gonna get you the win.
Oh my god.
Actually, I don't know if I can guarantee that. He keeps
trying to get me.
Yeah.
Chicken keeps trying to get me. I can't play. This is too nerve-wracking.
Fuck.
Hate you guys.
Come on, Gary.
Why did you have to make this game? No. 25 seconds.
Come on, JJ.
The longest 25 seconds of my life. No, JJ. No, chicken. No, chicken. I jumped over the chicken.
JJ just held the chicken for you.
Oh my god. I'll take every piece of charity help I can get here.
Oh no, chicken, no. If I can't win, then the chicken definitely can't win.
Don't let the chicken win.
7 seconds, Gary.
5,
come on.
3, 2,
you can do
it. 1.
Yeah!
Yes, I got it! It wasn't even close at the end there. My goodness, I was like, this can't be this close.
Good
I'll
job.
take it. First crown, my first crown of season 3.
Yeah.
Yay!
Well done.
Beautiful.
Thanks, JJ. I appreciate the assist.
Yeah, you know
I've
what?
done it without you.
I thought after the Liverpool Spurs game, I'd get something back.
I just because I'm very Spursy and I do throw wins away at the last second, so it does happen. It does happen. Yay! First crown of season 1. I won up to crown rank 10.
I'm at crown rank 29.
Wow.
With my next, I have to get 639 crowns for my next costume. I don't know what that means. 639.
Wow,
that's a lot of crowns.
That's a ridiculous amount.
I mean, remember that 420 of these crowns were not me.
True.
So.
It is interesting. It's difficult to balance as well because you have some people who, the majority of people won't get anywhere near that. But then you have like a really, really core group of people. Some people who have already maxed out, the crown rank for this season, which is it's something that's very hard to deal with. Really, it's like
I play with a group of friends on a daily basis, and so yeah, some of them have well over 1,000 wins or 1,400 wins, or they're up in the 800s.
Yeah, the true hardcore.
Yeah, they play
all
the time.
It's amazing.
And they're very good. Have you ever watched any of the competitive Fall Guys?
Not a lot.
I watched like Full Mania.
Oh yeah, good. So that's Grand Pooh Bear's Fall Mania.
Yeah, that was really good.
Which is happening tomorrow, by the way, 2 p.m. Pacific.
Yeah, to be honest, like I think outside of work time, you kind of need to, especially in lockdown, right? We spend so much time in the same space that you need to distinctly cut it off. And I think around launch time, for the first like 2 months, I was watching streams constantly. I was on Twitter, I was on Reddit, like just following stuff constantly, and it's unsustainable. You know, like it's just your life is this game, and you really need to be able to take a step away from it. So I've definitely like watched less competitive stuff recently, but yeah, I mean that's my excuse for being bad as well.
No, that's totally fine.
But yeah.
No, but I do understand needing that work-life balance, and it is good to, step away from it if it is your entire job. But hopefully, you can still find a bit of joy out of watching some of the competitive scene. Because making this game, did you think that there was going to be a competitive scene? Did you think that there was going to be these massive tournaments sponsored by Red Bull and all this kind of stuff? Fall Guys Fridays on Twitch Rivals. Was this something that you had intended making the game?
No, I
personally
don't.
No. Yeah, Meg, I was gonna say, did you? I mean, what? I can't. It's so hard to remember the before time. But did you like expect? I think I mean, did you expect people to get as good as they are, Meg? I don't think so.
I did, but yeah, I don't think we were sort of expecting it to be as big as it was. I expected it to be really popular, but I don't think I expected it to be esport level sort of competitive. I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but I guess when we were making the levels, like we didn't have that in mind. We weren't thinking of like, just like grand tournaments or anything like that. We sort of had a really scrappy attitude towards making the levels. So it's a bit of a spin out, really.
Yeah, and the tournaments keep
always
coming,
felt that
too.
I always felt like it had terrific potential as a spectator sport, because I spoke to some people and they were like, but the RNG, there's always this luck factor, and I understand why that might be frustrating for competitors, but like for spectators, it's the best, because like it's just riveting. Like there's so many crazy, what makes a good spectator sport is like memorable moments and crazy unexpected shit happening, and this game is just founded on that. That's all this game is mad things that you don't expect to happen happening.
It's I think one of the an element of that is like the added pressure. I mean, Kate, you said that you lost $5,000 from tail tag, and obviously I think
not
with
bitter
those
at all.
tournaments,
It's fine.
but it's like it does add a sudden new pressure, and it's like something I think. Oh no, Meg!
That was Meg. That was Meg.
Oh, that was Meg. Sorry, Meg. Oh my God, right at the line.
That was crazy.
Your little horse arms were up in the air. That was so devastating to watch.
Yeah.
Sorry. Continue,
I mean, I think what's great is that I think everybody takes, everybody knows what the game is going into this stuff, and I don't think anybody does expect, like everybody knows there's a good amount of luck, and there is a good amount of RNG, as you say, Gary. Like that is accepted with these tournaments, and I think we were quite worried when the talk started happening around that, because it's like, you can't. You can't expect that everybody's going to have the same, internet quality, and all of this stuff plays a massive factor in how well some stuff runs and that kind of thing. And it's like people are putting money on the line for this. That's quite scary. But I think in the way it's been done, people have accepted like, this is Fall Guys, and if you win at Fall Guys, there's going to be a little bit of luck involved. But yeah. I
mean, it's like, imagine like the NFL football, or like Premier League soccer, but like every 10 minutes they just let a bunch of wild animals like onto the pitch. It's like, if you're a pro, I can understand why you might find that frustrating, but I would watch that.
Yeah.
And that's basically what Fall Guys is, I think.
That's a really good point, yeah. I think you're right, like, people, and I think if professional footballers knew that every 10 minutes a bunch of wild dogs were going to be put into the pitch and still decided to play, you know, that's on you at that point,
right?
You know, so I guess what I'm saying is sorry, not sorry.
No, nor should you be sorry.
Question about the crown rankings, the crown pass rather. Do you have plans to expand that in the future, or is this it?
I don't know.
Oh, God damn it.
Yeah, I don't know much about the crown ranks, to be honest.
I haven't even messed with those yet.
I mean, yeah. I know the discussion. There was discussion around like. I think with all of this, like we want to keep building and growing on every feature and everything that goes into the game. Like I don't think at this stage we would say that anything is like gonna stay the same. And I think one of the most important things about this game is oh no.
Oh no!
No!
JJ, that was
denied at the finish line today.
It was like, oh yeah. I just did the maths, and it's like, oh no, that's not gonna work, is it?
No.
But yeah, like I think we want to keep rewarding the most dedicated players. Absolutely, like that is really, really important to us. And I think, I don't. Yeah, like I probably can't talk that much about like the future of those features, but like of that feature. But we always want to continue to make the special players feel special, you know, because they are special.
Also, another round with alliteration. Tail tag.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. This
team
is
tail
in all
tag.
seriousness. I have a love-hate relationship with a lot of levels. This is the only one that I would honestly be okay seeing gone.
Yeah, me too.
Like, it drives
I said
me
the same
nuts
thing
in the
about
worst
Perfect
way.
Match, but then Perfect Deathmatch came into play, and I like it again.
Yeah.
That's actually a question from Kate's chat that I think is interesting. Are there plans for more logic levels?
Yeah, I'd love to get more logic levels in. I'm a huge champion of logic levels just because they're so different. But we haven't really been able to find that many that work that well. Like, you know,
Meg made Perfect Match. I don't know if you know that, but
oh, did you?
Meg is Perfect Match. Yeah.
I actually quite like Perfect Match because there's a couple ways you can play. You can play by actually, looking at the tiles and figuring out which it's going to be, or you can play by following the crowd and hoping that they're not lying to you.
Yeah.
My absolute favorite clips of the game are people duping others on Perfect Match.
Oh, that happened on the show once.
Like fucking Lupo got me. Remember that time?
Yeah, that was beautiful.
Still haven't forgiven him.
Moment lives rent free in my head.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's almost like that time that I stole your tail at the last second in Royal Fumble, Kate.
Yeah, that pissed me off.
Yeah, she's still not happy about that.
I think just going back to Perfect Match, like I think people at launch, some people, it's the people that speak that were kind of maybe like felt like it was boring or whatever. I think there are a lot of voices that we don't hear.
No.
Oh no!
Yes, Wald!
Oh no, Kate.
No! How am I the lone survivor here? Everyone.
No idea.
So everyone in our squad except me got knocked out on like a last second thing. That's crazy.
All right, yeah. Let's get a block party and get Gary eliminated at the last second.
Hey. That would be very on brand for me. Block party is my nemesis level. Hey, I get four though.
You're lucky.
All right, here we go.
Oh, and the turntable again. But yeah, I think basically like I think Meg can talk more about why we like Perfect Match, but I think the game would be worse without it. I really, really do.
Meg, why do you like Perfect Match?
So, I mean, it's. I love that it's a physical version of a logic level. Like, I really wanted to keep in like you have to stand on something or you fall into something, or like right. So it wasn't like a math equation or something like that and you had to pick an answer. So I really like that, and that opens it up to those moments like you were talking about how, 90% of the time, one or two people are going to go out on that level.
Yep.
But then there's the occasional 10% chance where it's going to be like everyone.
I mean, people have won crowns on that level,
I've won
right?
a crown on that level.
Really?
I love that. Okay, speaking of actually, because it was on the Perfect Deathmatch variation of it, with the spinner in the middle. In your opinion, as the designer of Perfect Match, is jumping on the middle of the spinner cheating?
This is an interesting one, actually, because I made the level, but JJ did the variation.
Perfect. So both of you are here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because for context, I won a crown on Perfect Deathmatch. I posted the clip on Twitter, and I had a bunch of people come after me telling me that I was cheating.
Well, I'll be honest, right? We had a bug come in that said players can jump on the middle of the spinner and they shouldn't be able to. And I had the decision to make there, like, is this part of the game or isn't it? And I decided yes, because I really like the idea of people trying and failing on it. Like,
okay, so
people
I think you should be able to do that, and I think you should have tested that a bit more and checked that. But at the same time, if
well,
you won
I mean, I did. I knew it was possible.
That way, you were able to do that. I think you were completely justified. So if we
the yellow team has figured out, by the way, that I'm the MVP over here on blue, and they're trying to mark me and grab me.
So
I just want to make it clear. I just want to say that I knew it was possible before that bug came in. It wasn't that. It was just that in that moment it was a decision, right? Like, is this a bug or is this a feature? And I absolutely felt like it's the kind of physicality that again, going back to that, like, you know, the physical nature of the level and that kind of thing. Like, if there is a thing that you can jump on and looks like you can jump on it there, then I think you should be able to.
So it's a feature, and that was not cheating.
It's not cheating. That's a genuine.
Well, like,
Perfect.
remember when Block Party you could get up on the wall there and just kind of ride it out? Like, that got patched out, right? Because that was considered, I guess, an exploit.
Yeah, well, I think, like, you know, that's kind of, to us, that's like outside of the level. I think, like, the walls. Yeah, so I guess we're breaking that rule that I've just said. But I think, you know, when we make the blockouts, the walls are like, well, when we started doing them, they were like, the walls were massive and you couldn't see past them. So the idea was that, you know, you can't get out. And then it's, you know, it's a compromise between design and art to be like, yeah.
I absolutely disagree with JJ.
Oh, really?
I think it was an exploit, but I don't think you were wrong in getting a crown that way, because that was totally on us. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough.
Because I think that if it wasn't an intended feature, you likely would have made it a dome instead of a flat surface.
Oh, I was doing so good. Oh my god, no one has it yet. Come on. God damn it. I got caught on the hammers.
Unlucky.
Close.
Meg, what were you saying?
Weirdly enough, the collision on those are circular, and we originally made them really high, but then on things like whirligig and stuff, it just wasn't fair because you couldn't jump over them. So that's been the dance, creating the collision for those guys. It's
I still have JJ on record saying that it's not cheating, and I will take that to my grave.
No, I think you were completely justified in your crown, 100%.
Thank you very much. There you go. Clip it, put it on record, ship it.
Megan, you touched on this earlier, that you said it's hard to find logic levels that you think are good enough to go. Is it particularly difficult? Is a logic level, like, it's a different kind of challenge, obviously, but have you had a harder time working up logic levels that you feel like, yeah, this is good enough to go into the game, than with like races and gauntlets and other types?
Absolutely, yeah. They've really got to hit a perfect tone, and that's really easy with races and like once you get an arena down. But when it comes to something that's like a totally different round type, it's so hard. It's really, really hard. What was the one that you were looking at ages ago, JJ? It was like a conveyor belt or something.
I think that might have been the first version of Perfect Match. Was like, there was a conveyor belt and objects would come along on the conveyor belt, right? And then there were and then so there'd be like a bunch of objects coming along on conveyor belts, and then on the screen it would say like apple, and then there'd be like 3 answers for how many apples there were that came along on the conveyor belts, and so you'd kind of like have to, and I like the idea that you'd have to like move around while this stuff was moving to be able to try and count how many there were, and then it would have that kind of same physicality where you go into a segment and drop, and I think, yeah, I don't know why did we abandon that?
It was too difficult. It was just too many steps. So like teaching that to players immediately is really, really difficult. Yeah. Like they just go, apple, what? Like they don't understand. Like,
oh, do you mean the tomato?
Yeah, or the mango.
The mango.
Yeah, It's just, but what I loved the most about when we first started testing Perfect Match, there were a few people in the studio who were just so good at the game, like they're amazing, and they would always win or always come first, and they just pick things up really quickly. They were all really bad at that round, and that was really funny that those people who were so good at like reactive gameplay were just terrible at remembering things, because like they just had a different skill set, right? So that really sold it to me. I was like, yes, we have to do some more of this sort of thing that, you know, just sort of play to different skill sets, I guess.
Do you consider?
Oh yeah.
Do you consider Tiptoe to be a logic game?
No, Tiptoe.
In the sense that you can like count the tiles and know which it's going to be, and.
Tiptoe's an interesting one. Tiptoe's kind of a bit of a frantic nightmare, I think.
Yes, agreed.
Game. Which I also love.
Freezy Qual.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. We're gonna have to come up with some more that are specifically logic-based.
Yeah, it's interesting. You probably aren't old enough to remember this, but when I was a kid in the UK, we used to have this game show called the Krypton Factor, and it was really cool because do you remember this? It was like they had all these different rounds, and some were like physical rounds, like an obstacle course or an assault course, but then there was like memorization, and because the idea was it was meant to kind of test like all aspects of human ability, mental, physical, whatever. And so I like that idea of if you play Fall Guys, even if you might have really good Twitch skills, well, that's not going to help you here because it's more it's more mental.
Yeah, that's totally what we were sort of aiming to do.
And like I think with what like one of my favorite things, as Meg alluded to, is like the fact that it gives that round gives people who might not excel in other rounds a chance to get through, a chance to get further in the show. And I think that is another argument for why we like team games, is that they I think some people. There was a big debate over them at the start of this game, at the launch of this game especially, and I think our main reason for really liking them was that like people who might not get that far can kind of like can do a little bit for their team and still qualify. And I mean, obviously that's not always the case, but it gives a kind of a different way to progress, and I think that's really cool.
Yeah, it's dragging through new players, and they get to see more of the game. That was kind of the intention, I think. But yeah, it made people furious. It
made a lot of people furious, but
yeah.
What is in general? What is the process of developing a level from the very beginning? Like, will designers kind of work up an idea on paper and like present a concept, and you're like, yeah, okay, let's work that up to prototype. Like, what does the birth of a Fall Guys level look like from the earliest stages?
Yeah, there's usually brainstorming sessions, so we'll sort of get together, a bunch of us, and brainstorm some ideas. Sometimes they're around obstacles, sometimes they're just around levels that we think would be really cool. And if level designers have a specific idea in mind, they can sort of pitch that during those brainstorming sessions, and we can sort of flesh out any problems, because normally, we're like, as a level designer, you get quite good at sort of picking out what's going to be an issue, or figuring out if there's a problem with something. So we sort of have those sessions, and then we write them up in more detail. But yeah, it's usually in those brainstorming sessions, which is really fun.
Have you ever thought of a part of a level you wanted to do, or thought of an entire level you wanted to do, and then taken it to the art department and had them just say no?
Yeah.
And can you tell us about it?
Slime Climb!
Here we go.
JJ special.
I don't know if we can say though, Meg. Can we on stuff that because I guess there are some where it's like you never know. We might, but there have definitely been whole concepts that it's just like that's actually it's interesting because Rollout, the one we just did, was originally called Tunnel of Love, and you were inside the tunnel. And the reason it was we changed it was because art wise it was just really, and like especially camera wise, it was pretty horrific inside a tunnel, and it just didn't it wouldn't.
That's kind of the feeling of Roll Off I have with the camera movements. I get nauseated when I play Roll Off.
It is pretty, it's pretty crazy. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
So JJ, here we are on Slime Climb, the level that you're probably most notoriously famous for. How similar is this final level that we're playing right now to what you originally had in your mind when you conceived it?
It was really hard to get this to this point, because I think all we had was like, we knew we wanted to do a floor is lava level, and we didn't know how that was going to work, and I like kind of did a pitch for a different version, which was, again, it was like this. Well, it was called. You like this one, Kate? It was called Volcano Mountain.
Yeah, good.
And so yeah, it was like you'd have everybody starting around a thing, and the lava and the slime would be like slowly rising. And the problem with a lot of versions that we tried was that you couldn't like see where the slime was, and that made it really disconcerting when you were just like knocked into the slime randomly.
Oh shit!
And it really. Ooh, this is.
No!
Let's go, Meg. Let's go, Meg.
In the same situation.
Good job,
Yes,
Meg.
Yes, Meg. Yes, Meg.
Yes. Amazing goal.
Beautiful.
All of us. Let's go.
Across the line together there.
Yeah. So it was really like the moment that this level kind of took off. The version before this was like an inverted spiral. So it was like you would start on the bottom of this like floor, and it was like a little room, and you would go around the outside, and the slime would rise from the middle. But it meant that like by the time you got up one layer, the slime would have to either rise so fast because we always knew we wanted to have it as almost like a life system, where if you could fall down a layer, but you would be fine as long as you'd done well enough to get to that point. And so it's kind of like, regulated. The difficulty is regulated by how well you play and where the lava is or whatever. But it just didn't really work very well because it took so long for the lava to come around. And I think our creative director was just like, why don't we try it as a switchback? So that basically that shape. And as soon as we did that, it was like, yep, this is it. And so there was a lot of balancing on the obstacles and like trying to kind of create not necessarily like a straight difficulty rise throughout, but like have kind of like peaks and troughs of difficulty there. But once we had that, I think that was when we knew like, okay, this is going to be a level. We just need to get the balancing right. But yeah, it was difficult. I thought we weren't going to make it. I thought it was not going to be a thing. So, and I also didn't expect it to be like, we knew it was harder, but we were almost maybe a bit scared of that. Like, do we want a level this hard?
Yes.
But it worked out quite well. Oh no!
Can I just say congratulations on everyone to making it to the final round?
Yeah, we did really well, but I've just lost.
Oh. Do you ever...
I'm gonna watch Meg.
Do you ever design a level intending it to be a normal level and then realize that it would work better as a final?
Yeah.
This is a very busy final two platforms here. Look at this. There's a lot of us here. Crowded.
Jump Club was originally obviously Jump Club, and then we liked it enough that decided to make it a final, and it worked so well,
Agreed.
Like these survival rounds are like ripe for this sort of gameplay.
I think like it's interesting because I think it would almost be easier. Like, I think final rounds are almost easier to design because you don't have to worry about. Obviously, there's fewer people in them, which is a massive. Oh, Meg, no! Like for a long time, the 60-player levels were the hardest, and we were like, how do we do anything that's not a race? Because having 60 players is very, it's a lot of people to try and create fun for everybody. But I think you have much more flexibility when you can say it's 10 players. You can do different things, and like I'm really glad we got 2 new final rounds in this update because. Yeah, like again, obviously roll off.
I got knocked and I couldn't recover in time. I got swept. So long, Kate. Come on, Kate.
Come on, Kate.
Okay.
So Megan, let me ask you. We're talking about like the origin of a level design. Like, I imagine it's not always the same. Different levels, have different situations. But like, at what point in the evolution of a level from like paper, like idea, paper, prototype, and working it up to get more and more finished? Do you get a sense of whether or not a level is going to be viable and actually be a candidate to make it into the game? Do you abandon a lot of ideas early? Do you work up ideas till they're actually pretty close to final and then still say, yeah, you know what? No. It's like, at what point do you kind of cross that threshold?
Yeah, we go through a bunch of stages for that. So like I love to include Art and our programming team really early on, and I basically say to them, hey, what can you see any massive issues with this, like if we decided to go with this? And their feedback's always like really, really helpful, and it usually makes the level better. So we like to get sign off basically from all departments before we go through with something, just so like you're not gonna throw things down, to the other departments and say, make this, and they have to figure out a way to do it. It's a much more collaborative process. And then after that process, we'll normally do a really rough prototype. So that's usually using designer art, really, really simple mechanics. And we play test it. And if it's not working, then we'll sort of decide whether it's a problem with the layout or small details, or whether it's an actual round issue, so we'll identify if it's a problem with the actual concept or a problem with, small details that we can change. And that's 90% of it. I think there's been occasional times where we've gotten a level through to like big team play tests, so we're playing at capacity, and if they're still not really clicking, well, then we have some more intense discussions. But usually at that point, most things go through.
Man, this gets fast now at the end.
This
Jump
is
Showdown.
ridiculous.
We have 50 seconds left.
Oh, I was gonna say just to carry on what Meg was saying, I would say most of the levels get binned in the paper stage. I think we're at the point where we know, looking at the pitch, if this is going to be. But yeah, we tend to pitch a load of levels, put a load as level designers, and then Meg and the other leads will discuss those pitches and basically talk about
2 left.
Obviously what's more. This is ridiculous.
Because it's going to be a
15
double crown
seconds. 15
scenario.
seconds. I'm hoping.
Oh.
What's also crazy is when we made this level, Pets balanced this, and he was like, "There's no way anybody's going to be able to do this," and we really thought no one.
Oh no, players will always surprise you.
They will. They really will.
Come on, you got this.
Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah, double crown!
Congratulations, endurance crown.
Well
Kate,
done.
can I ask you, if the background timer for that ever changed, or if the balancing for that changed, how would that impact you? How would you feel if, say, the timer was suddenly longer, or if it sped up even faster to the point where it's literally impossible to jump? Would that be? How would you feel?
I don't know. I'd have to figure it out when I got there, I think.
Okay. Because it's interesting, because the idea of timing out levels is something that feels kind of new. Well, I've only heard about it sort of recently, and it's something that obviously wasn't really intended. But I kind of like it. It's interesting.
I'm curious. Why did you decide to? Sorry, Kate. Go ahead.
I was just saying 5 minutes already feels incredibly long.
Yes.
Maybe.
Well, I think it would only be increased in an effort, and I'm not saying this is the case. I think it would only be increased in an effort to remove the concept of timing out episodes, or timing out rounds. But I don't know. It's interesting.
I think so. My friend Dangers is in the chat, and he hosts a Fall Guys tournament called Fallapalooza. And just saying, from a tournament perspective, the fact that roll-off will never tie is super exciting for tournaments. But then also having, from my perspective, having something like Jump Showdown, being able to do a double crown, or even Fall Mountain. I've double crowned to someone on Fall Mountain before. I think that is really exciting and unexpected as well. So having, and you're never going to double crown on Royal Fumble.
Yeah.
So there's variations of it.
On things like Jump Showdown, though, did you feel like it was necessary to put in a double crown time cap like we just saw there, where you've got Kate and one other player, and it doesn't seem like either of them is going to make a mistake? This could really go on for a long time. I don't know, maybe there's an argument. Just let it go on for a long time and see what happens.
So I think we've actually put a cap on all levels, because what we found when we originally launched was, I think it might have been jinxed. If players decided not to jinx everyone, that would lock the server for for however long the players wanted to sit on it. So yeah, we found some holes in some of the game design, where it was unless we put a backup timer for things, you're going to have maybe 2 players who are just going to hang out on a server, and one's not going to jinx one, So I think that's just the standard backup for all of them. So even if we wanted to, we probably couldn't change it now. But at the same time, just like Kate said, I love the diversity in the 5 rounds, and the fact you can do that. I think there's something nice about that.
It's kind of like a wholesome moment between players as well, especially if you don't know them, that it's we've done this together. We both got a crown together.
Aw.
And it's just kind of
Really
cute.
sweet.
It's like, even though we've been competing against each other this whole time, we won together. Nice. And we didn't grief each other, and we both managed to time out 5 minutes of Jump Showdown.
I think if you've both made it through 5 minutes of Jump Showdown, you deserve it.
I think so too. Speaking of timing levels, have you ever considered a tail tag variation or switch up where, kind of like Penguin, instead of it's who has the tail last, it's who has had the tail the most throughout the round?
Yeah, we actually had a vote. That's where Jinx came from. It was from an original pitch that was basically, exactly that. But we couldn't really get it working properly because people were too confused. So I'd love to go back to that, but it's really hard to start the standard with something like tail tag, where you have to get the object and then try and teach players, with one line of text that they're not going to read on a loading screen, to do the opposite. So that's what we found, and we just decided to sort of give that a miss now. But there's definitely a way we can figure it out. We've just got to figure out how to do that.
I think one of our other qualms with it was that you could have a point where you can't qualify. And I think I love, tail tag is my big love-hate, and I've had some of my most celebrated moments on playing this game, winning a last-minute tail, and obviously that goes the other way, and it can be absolutely excruciating.
The highs are high and the lows are low.
It can very much.
They can cost you $5,000,
They can,
hypothetically. But I think with that kind of game mode, you get less of those moments. You get it's more. I think it's more assured that you're like, oh, okay. Well, I even know that I'm. Most of the time, I think you'd even know that you were going to win or lose before the timer ended. That's not to say we can't do a version that we get around that somehow. But yeah, we've talked a lot. Like Meg said, we have talked a lot about that around that kind of level, and Jinxed at the time was basically what we could get to, but I think the idea is still something worth exploring. So yeah. It's interesting.
It's funny actually, because most of the concepts people pitch to us, we've thought about it and just haven't really thought of a way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
We've gone over every children's game you can think of, and game show games, and really simple concepts. So most of the things we've sort of given a go and tried to incorporate those mechanics, but it's just really hard when you have a game that's all about accessibility and trying to teach someone to do one thing in the space of a couple of seconds. You know what I mean?
Agreed. Actually, speaking of that, you were just saying the children's games. I did see a video recently, and I'm wondering if that's kind of where the inspiration for Hexagon or Thin Ice came from, of a game board with a penguin on it and hexagonal tiles that are kind of suspended in between the sides of the board, and each person gets a little hammer to knock the tiles through until the penguin falls off.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, no.
Okay, interesting. Because I'll send you the short video, because as soon as I saw it, I thought, oh, this is Thin Ice.
I'd love to see. No, it's fun.
I feel like the number one good reason to actually build like a construction kit for this game, so that people could give them a toolkit, a user-friendly toolkit, so they could actually anyone could make a Fall Guys level, would be to demonstrate to all those people just how not easy that really is. Everyone's a critic. Everyone's, oh, why didn't you make it more like this? Have you ever thought about doing that? But it's you know what? Yeah, we do this all day and it's really hard. You try. And just see what levels people. I'm sure you'd get some good ones, but you'd also get sometimes just a total mess.
I mean, that's we see you see people on Reddit making incredible levels in Dreams, and it's that is amazing, right. and it is a skill unto itself. It's amazing, but it is different to making a level knowing that how many people are going to have to play it, and actually being able to play test with 60 people or however many people, and then reacting to that. There's a whole nother level to it that comes after that initial block out.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I do think given I think there are things that we can learn from the community, absolutely, all the time, and we are looking for that kind of stuff all the time. So it's definitely not it's hard, but there are great ideas out there.
Right. Just making them fit into the game.
Yeah.
that's just the thing. Like you're absolutely right, and like it's the like everybody has good ideas, but like having them to conform to a really specific set of rules is like so much harder than you think, because it's not that creative. You know, you have to sort of problem solve more than be creative, I guess.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people just think, oh, just do it and it's fine, because they don't understand how game design works.
Yeah,
Like a lot of people saying, just put it on Xbox. I'm sure there's many reasons why it can't be on Xbox right now, but like,
yeah, why didn't you guys think of that?
Yeah, come on.
I mean, I think it's easy. I'm just a designer, so
Yeah,
I reckon they
exactly.
should just hit the button and do it.
Yeah.
Oh, the button that I
just get
have
them
in
make a
front of
good
my
button.
computer right here. Yeah,
Yeah,
the Xbox button.
you've got it. So if you could just hit that, that'd be great.
Yeah, anytime.
Do you, in all seriousness, do you feel like as designers you're getting better at making this game and knowing how to make this game as you go? Because like I presume that you having made like dozens and dozens of levels at this point, like the most valuable attribute that you have as you design the game going forward is the body of experience that you've learned from everything that you've done before, right? This didn't work, this did. We know more to do this or that next time.
So yes and no.
Oh, sorry, go on.
Yes and no?
This is a really interesting question because, okay, as a designer, yes, I've learned a lot as we've gone. You know, we had to get these levels, like the 20 levels that dropped with the game, out in a year. That's insane. Like that's a really, really crazy goal to hit, especially when you consider each one of these rounds has totally different mechanics in it. That's pretty unheard of. It's not like having different maps in a shooter or something like that, where you're using the same set of mechanics and you get to know the metrics really well and stuff like that. Right. This is basically creating 20 different games. You know, like it's sort of a different ball game there, but also so we're learning a lot about how the game plays and what people think and what they want. Not really learning that much about other things, because like we're making themed seasons, so we're creating different obstacles every season, you know, and we're creating round concepts every season. So it's a really interesting one. It keeps you on your toes. So there's still an incredible amount of experimentation and blagging it basically to see what works. Because we don't have a formula. It's not a game type where you do have a formula. You can't get better at creating maps because we're not even using the same game rules in a lot of maps.
Here we go.
Got very excited.
Up for the first time.
I would say as well though, Meg, that I feel like now we're in a stage where like I totally agree, but I do think we're in a point where we reject more ideas than we kind of carry forward. Like we have a better kind of a much better understanding of what doesn't work, I think.
Absolutely.
Okay, here's your big chance to beat the designer of Hexagon at her own game.
I know. It's very exciting.
I'm not very good at Hexagon. I really am not. I freak out. I'm a freak out person.
I mean, honestly, I can't tell you how good it makes me feel to know that it's not just that it's not, even the designer of this level gets freaked out by it because it's rough.
I think
people's
issue is they go way too fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always get told that.
Meg's one of them, I think.
No.
I am. Ever run around someone who's going really slow and then make them fall down, because that's the real joy in life.
All right, Dev's confirmed griefers.
It's just in somebody's day.
So Maggie, you're not really in a position to impart any pro strats on this?
No, Meg, no! I just watched Meg fall off. So,
she's gone? Okay.
Yeah.
I outlasted the designer of Hexagon at Hexagon. I'm putting it on my bio. I'll take it.
Oh, no.
I will take it.
Oh, no!
Oh, shit.
I just did a very bad thing.
No. Am I the last one left?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? No.
No, I just did a bad.
No, that's it. I'm done.
This is when you see that somebody's... I love it when you think you're really close and then it ends and you see somebody was like 5 levels up. It's like, oh, right.
Yeah.
But that one was close. That was really close.
It was actually pretty close. We all did decent there.
I think that's one of the best levels, if I'm being honest. Meg, I did just in the text chat in the Discord channel that we're in right above the voice channel, I did send you the short video of the game I was talking about.
Oh, cool. Thank you. I'll check that out.
Yeah, people say it's called Don't Break the Ice. And a lot of them are like, oh yeah, that's what it reminded me of. I played this when I was a kid.
That's so bizarre.
And it's so neat looking. Just thought of that.
So, Meg, I thought it was really interesting what you just said there about how like the experiential knowledge that you build up, like how like can only help you to a certain degree, and to some extent you're always going to be kind of making it up as you go. Is that a problem? Is that something that's unique to Fall Guys, and the fact that it's not one game but just a collection of games and each one has its own challenges?
Yeah, every other game that I've worked on, like you're given your mechanics first, basically. So you're given systems and metrics, and you can build stuff around that, you know, and scripts and narrative, and you've got to build within that. But Fall Guys, it's kind of like rounds first, right? So we come up with the ideas, and you know, we work with the other departments to make them happen, which is really liberating, but it's also a really interesting, very unique, I think, way of doing level design. I don't necessarily know if it is the best way to do it, but it's worked for us so far. So yeah, it's a really fascinating one. It is basically like just different games though. Like, you know, we need bespoke programming work on each of the rounds. You know, we need different art assets. Besides the obstacles, we don't reuse that much at the moment. So yeah, it's a really, really interesting way of doing things. Pretty unique, I think.
I think what's really impressive though is that like how many levels are in the game now? It's got, was it like 50 something? I don't know exactly, but there's a lot, right? I don't know how many levels you've deployed, but you haven't had a single one out of all those where it's like, oh man, like no, like we thought, but the community didn't respond to this one. Like we're going to pull it or take it out of rotation. Like there's not actually been like a fail. There's definitely levels that people like less than others, but you haven't had one that like people just flat out did not respond to.
Yeah, we've had a few discussions about that actually, to be honest. Like there've been a couple of meetings, like maybe not entirely serious, but talking about whether we should cut things out or whether we should replace things. And really at the end of the day, my argument's always, you just sort of want the variety. Like, I don't know if it would make things better if we just cut out the things that weren't as popular, because it's just going to make people get more pissed off at the things that are popular.
Right.
I think.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got a dapper walrus.
There's always gonna if you cut the least popular level, then some other thing becomes the least popular level, right?
Yeah.
Whatever was second place behind that one.
But also, someone's least favorite is somebody else's favorite.
Yeah.
Yep.
So even though I hate tail tag because of my personal reasons.
Okay, but I challenge you to find me one person who says tail tag's their favorite level.
Okay, fair. But I think
that might be the exception.
But you know what I mean? Like everybody's gonna have a least favorite and everyone's gonna have a favorite, and they're not always gonna be the same ones.
Yeah.
Freezy qual.
Freezy qual indeed. Meg, are you responsible for all of the oh my god, you just went flying.
No.
I love doing that on those punches.
That was awesome. Are you responsible for all of the hoops games, or just ski fall?
That's JJ.
Come on, make it over that line.
Nice,
She's got
good
it.
job.
Yeah. Crazy qual. Yeah, JJ did the original hoops level. Ben did the medieval one, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Ski fall's a bit of an outlier because I just wanted to make a always sliding level, and I wanted to make something that was ski fall, so I combined those two concepts basically.
It's wonderful. Have you thought? Two of you have designed hoops levels. Have you thought of doing a hoops level as a final somehow?
I feel like we've pitched that, but it hasn't been very popular. Yeah,
well, I think because we've had free hoops. Like I think in the kind of last wave of discussion, I can only remember really back as far as like the last discussions for levels really, but like I know we were thinking like, well, maybe people are going to be a bit hoopsed out because we've had a hoops at launch, hoops in second season, hoops third season.
I love hoops.
I love hoops as well. Like, I really think I think there are a lot of things you can do with hoops actually. Like I think there are, because it's so easily understandable, right? Like, and it feels just good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was like, I wasn't actually that sure about the game mode until we played it first time. First time we played that on that map, and it just felt like, it was immediately like, it just feels good to jump through a hoop.
It's
like, it
so
feels
satisfying.
So nice.
It is satisfying.
And it's really, like you said, it's easy to pick up on. You just jump through a hoop. That's it. That's the game.
Exactly. Like fleas can do it, right? So, oh no. But yeah, like I love that idea actually. I don't know. We might have discussed it, but Meg, I might try and repitch a hoops final because I like that.
Can I also just
barely made it.
have.
Do you have a name for it, Kate?
Not yet. I'll start workshopping it, and then I'll DM
with a good
you.
Name.
Well, speaking of names, I was just thinking for season, it would probably be season 6, maybe season 6 in the summertime, spring, summer. Have you thought about doing a tropical kind of summer getaway vibe, and then we can call it a breezy qual?
Oh, like that. There you go. This is really where all the game design priorities should be, how they should be set.
Yeah.
So we can. This will be a good hashtag. Let's build season 4 around that.
Breezy. I mean, that's what we said earlier. We need to do
breezy qual.
Yeah. Breezy qual.
I think you're joking, but there's a certain element of like, you know, well, actually, I would say it's probably post-level design. We don't really design levels with Oliver in mind, but Oliver is definitely in our thinking with a lot of decisions made, where it's like, he's just, if we know he's going to love something, then it's like, okay, I'll give this stuff.
We need the spicy content, you know?
I mean, the naming of things has definitely become a big part of it, right? Ringus Dingus and
Big
Enos and all this stuff.
I have a screenshot to share with you of something that Oliver said the other day. In a Twitch chat, and I believe maybe I shouldn't share it. Maybe I'll keep that one for later because it is inappropriate for YouTube. So this is going on YouTube later. I'm not gonna share that one.
Oh, what's he been saying?
I
don't know.
Sleazy qual.
I'll share. I will share the screenshot with you at a later date.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
we'll talk later.
Yeah. You can DM that. But yeah, like I think there is a certain amount. Meg, I don't know how you feel about this kind of community-driven stuff, but it's there. I would say to a degree.
What do you think about a cheese-based season? And you could have a cheesy qual.
That's really committing to cheese.
Well,
I don't.
I mean, if I'm going to commit to anything, cheese might be on the top of that list.
I'm inclined to agree.
For our vegan fans, it might not go down that well. That's
true.
The only thing.
Oh, I never thought about that.
I've actually.
You guys think of everything.
Yeah, well, you know, this is why we're the deciders.
I've just dropped the screenshot in question into the text chat in Discord there, so you can.
Okay, sweet. I'm gonna have to look after, but I'm pretty excited.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about looking at it instead of playing tail tag.
But I know we all love tail tag, right? We're all getting tails. I'm not even gonna steal yours.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
I started with a tail. Let's see how I can hold on to it. There you go. 2 seconds was the answer.
So, question about how you come up with variants in your levels. Like, for example, the flippers that you did in the new season. One, are we going to be able to see some of those variants, like the flippers? I don't know what you're calling them, but I think you understand what I'm saying. Are we going to be able to see those in kind of season 1 and season 2 levels, or those season 3 going forward? And also, how did you come up with those and all of the, the spinning hammers and whatnot?
So the answer to the first one is yes, definitely. And in fact, they've had to really, if anything, remove some that I've done because I just went a bit flipper crazy, especially in that idea phase. And so to go to the second question, like for the first 2, it's changed a bit now. We kind of, it's a bit more collaborative, but for the first 2, because we didn't have that much time, it was basically just like me, and I'd spend a day going through all the levels with a list of the obstacles and thinking, okay. And also the other thing to take into that was, knowing players' expectations of these levels and how to sort of play with those. So you basically, I would just spend a day coming up with like loads and loads and loads of ideas. Some of them, come on.
It's not going to happen for me. No! Eliminated.
Right.
Damn it.
Yeah, like some of them.
Last 10 seconds.
Did anybody
every time?
Did anybody make it through?
I got through.
Well,
Am I the only one?
Yep.
Okay, we'll keep going.
Okay.
Yeah, so and so then it would be a case of basically I would go to art and tech and with this giant list, and we would sit down for like a few hours and basically just go through what can be done and what can't. And so to start with, I wanted to switch out whole sections of levels. I had all these crazy ideas, and then it's like, I basically was just somebody on Reddit. And then that's when, Art and Tech would come in and be like, okay, well, we can't do this. We can't do this. We can't do this. But I thought, from that point, it's really cool because then you have these kind of restrictions and it's like, what are the craziest things we can do within the restrictions of what we can do with this system and the obstacles we've got. And honestly, it's probably my favorite part of the job is like just going into those levels that everybody knows. And coming up with ways to just flip expectations and do things that for many of them make it harder. I think Meg sort of made a point at the end of the last season and like these make these levels really hard. Like
they do, yes. I feel like every season, even just the standard levels are getting progressively more difficult. Yeah, and then the variations come up, and I'm like, this is impossible.
Yeah, the thing that sort of we need to dial back on the variation is like we spend so much time testing the like original levels in their original form, and we really, really vet those hard. But the variations change so much about them, but we don't give them anywhere near as much scrutiny, I guess. So yeah,
they're genius. They don't need it, They're just
better tested, better.
Well, I think that I would say that it's less a JJ problem and more a Mediatonic needs more people. But that's what we've got now. We've hired people and we're at the point where we are able to do that more. So I mean I don't know. Are there any variations in particular that you're like this is bad?
Anytime that Thick Bonkus shows up. Basically.
Yeah.
Isn't it Pooh Bear has a real problem with those seesaws that go the other way, right? He doesn't like that.
Oh, that one. Okay, that one. Actually, that one was Meg's idea.
Meg! How dare you? Because I have like 3 people qualified on that once. No! And that was very sad.
Oh, I saw that happen.
Awful.
I've seen like 3 people qualify, and then people are so dumb that they just stand on that last seesaw, not letting anybody get through.
Yeah.
That is the hell. We call it the hell variant.
I thought that one only showed up when you have Yeetus to knock you to the middle.
No.
I think they're separate.
It's miserable.
We've been playing for 2 hours. I want to be respectful of Meg and JJ's time. Do you guys want to do another one, or if you need to get out of here, just let us know.
How are you feeling, JJ?
I feel like maybe should we do one more?
I was gonna say why don't we do one more, get a couple final questions in, and then
Yeah.
All right, one more
game. I think we've gotten a lot of great questions. Thanks for being
this has been great.
So interesting. I want to say to interview. Like we've had a lot of really cool people on the show, like top streamers, and we've had like Mark Hoppus from Blink 182, and it's been really fun. But at the same time, I think the developers we get into the nitty gritty of the game, and I find that the most exciting.
Yeah, these are the ones I enjoy the most.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you found it interesting because I honestly, I'll be halfway through saying something to you guys, and I'll be like, this isn't interesting. This is rubbish.
There's like 650 people watching this right now, so I think they find it interesting too.
Okay.
It's really interesting.
I'm glad.
Okay, a couple more questions. Are there any plans to do more Steam or PlayStation achievements if people have already collected all of them?
I think so. I don't know the ins and outs of that, but yeah, I'm pretty sure we've spoken about that. Yeah.
Okay. We've kind of touched on maybe the concept of a practice mode, but have you actually thought about putting practice mode into the game?
Yes, we've talked about like having a bit of a gym or something you can sort of run around in. Whether that's like a waiting room gym or whether that's going to be just a separate area you'd access to the menu to sort of practice jumping and stuff like that. Just hasn't really been a priority at the moment, you know.
Kind of got some other stuff going on.
Yeah, we've got our hands full. But yeah, that would be really cool, I think, you know, for new players.
I would love that, yeah.
I actually think, just to compliment you guys, I really do think it's amazing, just generally across the board at Mediatonic, how you guys have kind of kept ahead of the ball here. And, you know, I don't necessarily think any of us expected to be playing season 3 already, and yet here it is, and it's really, really great. And, you know, I think it's a similar thing with the Among Us devs. You know, the small team game blew up in their face. Like, oh shit, this thing's really successful. Now we really gotta, you know, make this continue to be good. So, I mean, it's a good problem to have, but it's still a problem, right? When a game becomes super successful and you have to suddenly scramble and hire a bunch of people to kind of keep up with the success that you've been having.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that, there's a certain amount of time, hiring a load of people doesn't solve anything short term. If anything, it makes things, naturally more difficult, because you have to spread the knowledge, and you have to do a lot to get everybody to the same place. And so I think it's the kind of thing, like, I'm really proud of what we managed to do with season 3. Like, I think we're still in a massive transition stage as a team, and I think through everything we managed to get like a good varied amount of stuff. But I think like we're going to start seeing the rewards of the kind of the success of the game for the players. I think it's just going to get kind of to the point where we can handle doing more stuff and being more ambitious with stuff, and yeah, so you're right. It's a difficult thing, because I think there was a point where right at the start of this launching, everybody was on our side. On the internet, people really liked us, and then it felt like overnight, people were like, "Why haven't you done this? Why isn't there more content?" And obviously those are the loudest voices, and you can't take it too seriously, but we more than anybody want to have more levels and more varied levels. So I think we're getting to the point now where we can really sort of do that, and it's really exciting.
I almost feel like maybe the people who are, and this could be completely wrong, but the people who are super critical of the game and like, why haven't they done this, are the people who love the game the most. Because I know that I'm very critical of certain things with games, because I'm just like, I love this game and I want it to be the absolute best it could be. Yeah. So why haven't they done this to make it the best it could be? And obviously those voices are quite loud, but maybe it helps that, maybe those are the people that love your game the most.
Oh, absolutely. And I don't mean like, I'm not like, it's criticism is really important, and obviously like we need it, and it's great it's amazing that people care that much. I think there is a general issue with people forgetting that there are human beings on the other side at times, and I think we're seeing that. We see that all across the industry. It's not specific to our game.
It's not a Fall Guys issue, really. I think that's just general with games. I mean, you see that with the cyberpunk stuff at the moment and everything like that. It's just sort of something that goes along, and I think Fall Guys fans are quite lucky that we're in a company that can respond to that stuff and talk about it and read it, because a lot of bigger companies I've been in, you can't, and you can't share anything and you can't talk about things. So, that's been really nice. But yeah, at the same time, it has been a real learning curve, I think, a real struggle sort of figuring out how to do this, because there's nothing really like this game,
No.
And we're still sort of figuring out how to do that. And, we're a studio that hadn't done multiplayer before, hadn't done a 3D game, and to sort of figure all that out within basically a 1-year pre-po to production cycle is, I still can't believe it. Like,
and in a pandemic,
Yeah.
Doesn't help.
Yeah.
But I do think that you all have done a fantastic job with it. Especially given the circumstances. And like when we were talking to Peps and Ben last time, a lot of it was just like, we want to do that thing, but we just don't have the people power to do it right now. So hearing that you've been able to hire more folks to come on board and help make the changes that you want to see is really reassuring and nice.
Do you feel like now that the game has kind of reached this point of maturity where there's a stable foundation there, it's got a big fan base, it's going to be around for a while, you're going to get to keep making Fall Guys for a while. Do you feel like at this point you have like a decent sense of like what you want the long-term roadmap, future, whatever the game to be? Or do you feel like you're still kind of making it up as you go along?
A bit of both, to be honest. I know there's long-term goals that have been set, and like I think like the people at the top making the calls sort of decided that stuff pretty early on. But at the same time, so reactive. We're more reactive than most games I've ever worked on. Oh, I just got disconnected. That's
No.
Anyway.
Forget everything we said. It's a trash game.
But it's so reactive at the same time. Like basically, we went from with season 3. You see, we released 4 levels, and like there were remixes in there. You know, that was originally going to be the goal for the seasons, and now we've bumped that up to like between 6 and 8 levels, and then a mid-season drop. It's just like we've shifted those goalposts really quickly within a 2-month stretch, and you know, we're still sort of making decisions like that, and ultimately that's a really good thing. But I think people have to be a bit patient, because it is like very hard to do with a small team. And to sort of figure that stuff out has been really challenging, but also really rewarding.
Absolutely.
Okay, and Hoopsy Heroes.
Hoopsy Heroes, that's right. Hoopsy Heroes. I think
one last chance to make it stick.
The content drop, especially in season 3, was really impressive, because of season 2, I don't think people were expecting this many levels or costumes or whatever, but this has been really
I'm
really
surprised
fun.
at how quickly season 3 came after season 2.
And I'm
I didn't
thrilled
feel like season 2 was that
about it.
long ago, and you did a remix in the middle of that as well.
Yeah, to be honest, like that was a real push, because like it was within that time frame of when season 2 launched that we decided to do this, and then being able to pivot and just really pushing to get those extra levels done was like a real struggle. But yeah, I'm really proud of what we were able to do, for sure.
Yeah.
You obviously can't talk about season 4 and the theme of season 4, but do you have any dream concept themes for the future?
Ooh, that's a really good question.
Again, and that's like limitations taken off, because this is all for fun.
Yeah.
I'd like a pirate one, I think.
Yeah, that would be good.
I would
That would be
personally
great.
very much like a space one.
Yeah.
You can't tell I'm very into space. Or I want like a
Space would be
galaxy
good.
skin. I wear my astronaut skin.
Space feels like inevitable that Fall Guys are going to conquer space, right? At some point, they will get on their ship and go up there.
Beans in space.
Once they discover that once they kind of discover their sort of sentience and
Well, and you know, they're probably from another planet, and maybe they want to go back to their homeworld.
I think
yeah, exactly.
I can already see the pirate theme. Like that just makes a lot of sense to me.
Pirates makes a lot of sense. Wild
we-
West.
Oh yeah.
Me and
Yeah.
Ben is always trying to push a norm core season where it's like rounds that are like go to your job in the office, make a cup of coffee. I really love that.
I actually
love
kinda
that
like that.
idea.
Yeah, I think that would be actually amazing. So I don't think that'll ever happen, but
I would
mean,
love
maybe.
it.
I don't know. I think that would be great.
Yeah,
I like that idea a lot.
And they're all in, and like all the costumes are just like suits.
Because
Just
as much
like
as we say,
glasses.
oh, you know, space, Wild West, like those are the things you kind of expect, but like you
Yeah.
want to do the thing that people don't expect, you know?
Which
Yeah,
is kind of what this
exactly.
game has all been about.
Sure.
Exactly.
Gary, I'm not sure that you're gonna qualify.
Oh, it's taken me like 10 minutes even to get these 2 points.
Okay.
Like, it ain't happening.
You're
for
just
me.
kind of running around
I-
the outside of the level.
Yeah, I've completely lost the plot at this point.
Okay.
You need a gold. You need a gold.
I desperately need a gold, and I'm not going to get one.
Could happen.
It ain't
Anything's
happening
possible,
for me.
Gary. Anything's possible.
I've
Well,
always said
no.
do a season that was just our really, really buggy versions of levels, where everything sort of was really predictable and just moved around and really weird things happen. I thought that would be really funny, but probably
See,
not
That
them.
feels
I
like-
like these ideas.
Yeah,
Hope
that's
for
pretty
this
cool.
last second gold here. There's one spot left. I'm not going to get it though.
Come on.
Yeah,
Oh.
No. It was never going to happen. Was never going to happen.
So who's still in?
Is it-
The three of us?
Is it just me? Oh,
I'm in.
I will
you're
say
in.
one little
wait,
touch
I
that I
got
really
disconnected.
appreciate is the way that you remix the music for season. I know you did this for season 2 as well with the medieval theme, but like this, because you know everybody wants to kind of get into the Christmas spirit this year. The sleigh bells that you added to the theme music really is a lovely touch, and it's very festive, and I like that.
Truly.
I love the music so much. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, there's a theme. There's one of them that I've got in my Spotify playlist at the moment. I think it's the theme on Freezy Peak and on like the race levels, and it just has this like really cozy breakdown halfway through where it just feels like you're by the fire, and it's so lovely. Like, he is just, it is insane how quickly he turns that Jukio turns those around, like from like basically getting a little bit of footage of the season to just making music that feels so unique. Like, I think Ben described it as like there's a genre called like happy hardcore, and I think this falls into that, which is like super fast but super
Happy
upbeat. And,
hardcore.
Yeah.
and it feels like immediately I remember hearing the actual theme for the first time, and it was like it just felt iconic immediately, right? It was just like, okay, cool. Like this is what Fall Guys sounds like.
It's like, I know it
so much to the game. Yeah.
I know it doesn't happen this way because everyone works really hard, but like from the outside, Fall Guys almost seems like one of those games where like everything just fell together in exactly the right way. Like the music is really catchy, the visual look is just right. Like it's just one of those games where again, looking at it from the outside in, just everything came together just right. You know what I mean?
I genuinely think, like, for most cases, obviously that's not the case. But with the music, it was genuinely like it was quite late that we got that thing. And I remember talking to Ben, and he was kind of nervous about like how it was going to sound and what we were going to get. And oh no, that's sad. But it was like genuinely like first time we heard it, it was like yeah, that's it. That is perfect.
No crown on the last round. No
I was
squad
so
crown.
close.
Yeah, I was pretty
I know
close.
you
too.
were right. It was right there at the end as well.
I love this costume. All of the holiday costumes have been great.
It's really good.
Any?
I wish there was like an in-game version of the Fall Guys jumper that we're wearing. That would be good.
Oh,
That
you're
would have been
right.
so
They should have
cute.
done that. Yeah.
Is there any hints of when the next bundle of skins are dropping? Was there supposed to be like a Santa skin or something? I saw reindeer actually today, so maybe it dropped today.
I think it's soon. I'm not sure of the exact date, but yeah.
Oh, there are reindeer in the store today, so maybe that's
Yeah,
what I'm
there's a
thinking of.
beautiful reindeer.
Ooh,
There's
actually, let me go
two.
pick that up right now. I want that reindeer.
Yeah,
There's
the
two
the
reindeer.
special. There's the crown reindeer. I love it. I love that color. It's beautiful. I might grab that
I
as
just
well.
need the
Oh wait.
bottom for it.
Oh yeah, the sleigh bells reindeer. 3 crowns. I can
Yeah.
afford that.
I
Does
like
that fit with the
a lot.
generic bottom, or is there a sleigh bells reindeer bottom as well?
I'm assuming there should be one. I just don't
imagine
see
that.
it.
Yeah, I think there will be. It might be in rotation at some point.
Well, I got to get the basic one, but I kind of want this sleigh bells one as well. I've got crowns to spend.
You're
So do I.
flush.
I'm flush with crowns.
I am also flush with crowns.
I'm very, very glad that you've gotten a little more generous with the crowns as well. I appreciate that. They
Yeah.
used to be really hard to come by.
I'm really glad as well because it's the only way I get them. So this is great.
There you go. Well, thank you both, Meg and JJ, for joining us today, and for giving us all sorts of fun info about season 3 and behind the scenes and what's coming up in the future. I really appreciate you spending it's your evening, but you're spending your evening with us.
It's
is super
been
fun.
really fun.
It's like
Yeah,
they
it's been
literally
really,
have
really
nowhere to go. They're on tier 3 lockdown.
Yeah, okay.
Exactly.
Well, then you should be thanking me. I don't know what I'm supposed to
They're
say.
giving you something to do
Yeah,
as you're
thanks.
locked in your house.
Yes.
Thanks for talking to us. It's just really nice to talk to
You know
somebody.
what,
from
JJ?
the outside world.
Anytime. You know where to find me
was
if you just
great.
want to chat. If you want to play Fall Guys, just let me know.
Well, I mean, I'm sure you're going to be messaging for your incredible name ideas anyway. So
Honestly,
Oh yeah, you'll
I
be
like.
hearing from Kate.
You think I'm joking, but if you have a level you need named, let me know and I'll come up with it. Like, I've got you. I'm very good at this.
My only worry is we don't have to pay you for that, right?
You can pay me in crowns, I guess.
Okay. That's
And
fair,
rare
that's fair.
skins, I'll take that.
Oh, we can do that.
Perfect.
Well, thanks to you both. It was really fun chatting and playing with you. Really enjoyed that.
Yeah, thank you guys. It was really fun.
You're very welcome.
Thanks.
Have a lovely day, both of you.
Yeah, you
Sweet.
too.
Thank you very much.
Bye. See you
Bye.
later.
Bye. And
I've
there we
just
go. Now it's the
disconnected
two
both
us
of
again.
them. Yep.
Okay, yep.
That was super fun.
That was fun. Yeah, I love playing with the devs. They always have such interesting things to tell us.
Absolutely. And they always have so much more insight about certain things than is made known previously. Like, there's only certain things that can be said on social media, but it's neat to see the thought process behind a lot of this game.
Yeah, and they're always so nice as well. We've had 6 different devs on here now. They've all been really nice people to chat to and hang out with.
The sweetest beans. Exactly.
Yeah. Very humble. They haven't let the success go to their head or anything, you know?
No. Which is really nice. We've
how it should
got some end credits to run. And then,
Oh yes.
And then I'm actually gonna continue playing because I have a tournament I need to practice for tomorrow. Which is
Oh yeah. How do you think you're gonna do in that USA versus Canada?
probably not very well, but that's okay.
Do you have a lot of talent on the Canadian side?
Yes, we do actually. We've got Dangers, we've got the Dragon Feeny, we've got a whole bunch of folks who are very, very good at this game, who either host tournaments or compete in them or both. And the USA side is also pretty stacked, but I feel confident in Team Canada. I am I've got my rum and eggnog ready to go for when I get eliminated, because then I can cheer on my friends and root for Team Canada. So I'm set. I'm ready.
Well, I'll be rooting. No, I almost said I'll be rooting for you, but of course I have to root for USA. No, you know what? Fuck it. I'll root for Canada.
That's right.
What has the USA done for me lately?
Well, okay. Everybody, thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in to Talk Guys. We don't know when the next episode will be, but maybe season 4. Season 3.5.
We should at least, we at the very least should do one of these every time a new season drops.
Agreed. Already agreed.
All right. Thanks, Kate. Always fun playing with you.
You ready to dance?
Oh yeah, let's do it.
Credits are rolling, Gary.
I can't hear the music now because I'm not streaming it on my side. I'm just pretending. But I know how it goes. I'm playing it in my head.
But just imagine that, but with bells.
Yes, some jingle bells to really kind of... No, you have to tell me when the music's over because I'm not even seeing it. Oh, I see it over there. I see it on your stream. Yay!
And
Talk Guys.
Cut.
Perfect.